Yo, check this rich player, cash flow thick, storage unit king, stacking brick on brick. Then these broke ass neighbors flip the script. Skinny old broad and her ex, a straight trip. She's rocking braids, playing pitiful and sad. Judges all soft like poor granny, my bad. He's flashing gas, threatening the rich man's dome. No sympathy for wealth, the cops leave him alone. She's a shady hag, junk shed queen, faking frail vibes, but her hustle's mean. Rate 50 fixed case, still crying broke. Judges don't care, justice is a joke. No tears for the baller, system's cold as ice. His reps getting torched, paying twice the price. They stalk, they lie, medias they flex. Rich man screwed, nobody's vexed. We see it. Yo, justice ain't real. Rich man's world, no pity, no deal. Poor acts the key, they play it so slick. Judge Slug, he's rich, who gives a lick? Scales tip hard, favoring the grime. Wealth's a curse in his courtroom crime. She's a con, he's a threat, they run the show. Rich man's pleased, they just let him go. Just let him go. So we watch this mess. Truth's out of sight, rich cats fighting, money drains away. No love for the loaded, that's the game they play. Justice stays blind cause the poor card wins the day. With the flood clip. She's a shady hag, junk shed queen, faking frail vibes but her hustle's mean. Raked in this case, still crying broke. Judges don't care, justice is a joke. No tears for the baller, system's cold as ice. His reps getting torched, paying twice the price. They stalk, they lie, media's their flex. Rich man screwed, nobody's vexed. We see it, yo, justice ain't real. Rich man's world, no pity, no deal. Poor acts the key, they play it so slick. Judge Shrug, he's rich, who gives a lick? Scales tip hard, favoring the grime. Wealth's a curse in his courtroom crime. She's a con, he's a threat, they run the show. Rich man's pleased, they just let him go. Just let him go. So we watch this mess. Truth's out of sight, rich cats fighting, money drains away. No love for the loaded, that's the game they play. Justice stays blind cause the poor card wins the day. Yeah, yeah. Please let him go. We still, justice ain't real. Rich man's world, no pity, no deal. Poor acts the key, they play it so slick. Judge Shrug, he's rich, who gives a lick? Scales tip hard, favoring the grime. Wealth's a curse in his courtroom crime. She's a con, he's a threat, they run the show. Rich man's pleased, they just let him go. Just let him go. So we watch this mess. Truth's out of sight. Rich cats fighting, money drains away. No love for the loaded, that's the game they play. Justice stays blind cause the poor card wins the day. He's rich, who gives a lick?
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the program. Thanks for being here. What a day. Oh my gosh, what a day. We have a new filing. Yes, we do. I said I didn't think he was going to respond. I didn't think BBB was going to have the cojones to respond to the judge's show cause, but apparently, he did. He did, and it is 14 pages of absolute delusion. And craziness, and I hope we can get through all 14 pages, plus all the exhibits. My God, there's exhibit after exhibit after exhibit.
I swear. Everything, and it all contradicts the reasons he said he wasn't going to show up, so that's fascinating too, you know?
Yes, which we thought would happen, for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a nuts. What a fucking nuts.
I mean, look, I was busy all day. I've got, Mr. Fox is still sick, poor thing. And Fairy also had a difficult day, not feeling well, had to go get her from school again. Like, just nightmare. Doctor's appointments. So I'm like in doctor's appointments and this thing drops and everyone's blowing up my phone. I'm like, I cannot read it right now. It's absolutely killing me. And I was just driving so much and I can't read anything. Thank God for Speechify. I got some of it on Speechify, but I haven't really had a chance to digest this recent insanity. I did, though, have a chance to run some of it past my sister. I know a lot of you have been asking for Stephanie's opinion. And her opinion currently is what a circus.
What the glue sniffing?
She has been following it a bit, and she did agree to come on with me on Friday during the day to kind of do a recap of not only some of this stuff, but also the Laura Owens appellate ruling. So for those of you who really wanted to hear her opinion on that's coming up hopefully on Friday, if I don't get sidelined by all the sickness going on around here and emergencies. I have cleared my calendar, and hopefully that I can stick to. So anyway, how was your day, by the way, Tug? How are you?
Good. I'm screenshotting a bunch more stuff today. I noticed some weaknesses in everything we've gathered. I'm like, wait a minute, we need this, we need that.
I know.
Let's
It's
complete
just
our
full of
filing.
delusions and just
Well,
crazy talk.
This guy, I mean, he's made it clear he plans on trying to sue. So he's fortunately he never shuts the fuck up. So he's given us plenty of ammunition to prove that that he's a mess. I don't even know what to say about it.
And those of you looking for the Locals live chat, I am just setting it up right now. So if you want to join me over there on the live, you can send memes directly to me, and I'm going to keep the window open so I can actually see you guys. Hi, guys. And those of you watching on Rumble, over there in the Rumble ghetto, I'm waving at you. You can't see me, but I am. How you doing over there, Rumble? Good to have you. Last night, by the way, Shizzy Wisna did a Rumble exclusive. If you missed it, you really have to go and watch it. Because he did an excellent job, him and Yamaha Biker, of taking apart the ecosystem's lame, excuses. And it was just wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful to hear. And I'm so glad that he did it. I'm glad that Rumble is a place that we can freely speak. And so if you don't have a Rumble account, it's free. Make sure you get over there and subscribe both to Shizzy Wisnut and my channel over there. Megan Fox Investigates. I have two channels for some reason. Go to Megan Fox Investigates, not Megan Fox Author. I never post anything on that channel. God, I don't even know where to begin. What?
There's so much.
I'm okay. Let's just start with this filing. Okay, so what we've all been waiting for, to give a brief overview and recap. Bruce, and Randy were supposed to show up in Pensacola on April 3rd for a show cause of why Bruce shouldn't lose his pro hoc vice status, and also a sanctions hearing for both lawyers on what the judge was pissed off about, which was what he said was frivolous filings. And he wanted to, yell at them. And yell at Randy he did, but Bruce didn't show up. And because Bruce didn't show up, the judge could only sanction Randy, and he got a $4,000 sanction for 2 filings the judge said were unnecessary. Bruce, on the other hand, got another show cause order to say, now you need to show me not only, I'm definitely going to sanction you for this other crap, but now you have to tell me why I shouldn't sanction you for not showing up. So that's what we're going to look at right now. And let me just tell you, it is a whole ball of crazy. Tug, let's take it a page at a time. I do want to try and get through all 14 pages. Take it a page at a time, and we'll switch off if that's okay with you. If you feel up to reading. Do you feel up to reading?
Yeah.
All right. Well, right away, we start out with the cascade of colons, which I still don't understand and is not in anybody else's writing, anybody else's motions except Bruce's. I don't know why he does this, but it's dumb. You see this? It's dumb.
I got
very,
thinking
very
about
dumb.
this too. As much as he complains that everything is done for show, oh man, that's what Jeremy Hales is doing. The ecosystem seemed to know exactly what he was going to file in this report.
Oh yeah? How do you know that?
Because they keep talking about it live. They've
really?
talked about it for days.
Oh,
Yes.
That's true. That's what I was told. I've really stopped listening to them. I don't have time in my life, first of all, for that kind of negativity. I've had too much going on. But so I only get recaps from people. So I don't
get sent clippings, which is good. The clippers send me stuff. So, I might get 10 minutes in clips of that. So it's enough though. It's enough to have a breakdown. It's actually more than I ever needed in my life. So, but it is interesting because again, they've been saying exactly what he was going to put in files, just like he's been letting them know for content. Oh, fascinating.
Unbelievable. All right, I'm going to start with page 1, and you can pick up on page 2. This is response to show cause order number 128. Oh my God, we're at 128 documents already. The undersigned hereby responds to the court's order, document 128, to show. Oh, we're further than
way
that.
past.
What is what number are we on?
Just scroll up. I can't remember which that was.
130.
Yeah, 130.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The order 128 was the judge being like, "Yo, why didn't you show up?" Again, he was like, the court said we're going to have this. This is what happened. You need to respond. So that's exactly what that was supposed to be.
Somebody in the chat, Eyes Dilligaf, says those are flea footprints. Do you like my drawing?
That's funny.
All right, here we go. To show cause as to why the court should not exercise its inherent authority and sanction him for failing to appear. There is no question that the court should sanction the undersigned for not appearing. Okay, case closed. But we can go home now, right? That's it. He's not going to argue.
That should be on top of it. So, that's his argument right there. Hey, he absolutely should be sanctioned. Okay.
And then he goes further to say the undersigned's reasons for not appearing on April 3rd are not an excuse for disobeying the court's order, but were his explanation for not being able to leave his family and practice. Well, that's all he needed to write.
Yeah.
Now, for the rest of this motion,
that's actually what he should have gone with. Throw himself on the mercy of the court. Hey, I'm sorry about this. He should have gone further in apologizing and more. But unfortunately, that's not a bruise. This is going to twist into blame jury, blame Randy, blame all of us.
Yeah, but it's interesting that we're still on page 1, and he could have stopped here, but we have 13 more pages to go.
Of course.
And like 6 pages of exhibits. And I really don't think that the judge is going to read past here. I think he's going to stop right here and be like, 100%, here comes your fine. I don't think he's going to keep reading, because why would he? All right, so here he goes. The trip itself would have been financially crippling. I think we may need violins for this. I really do. I think we might need some violins. Let's see. You didn't get copywritten for the Bach last night, did you?
No.
Oh, good. Perfect. That's
even if I did, I would say no. That way I would be payback. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, smart. That's what I would have done. Yes, definitely. Okay, let's see. It says, the trip itself would have been financially crippling for the undersigned by taking him away for the second time in this case from his law practice for several days, and it would have left his family at a time when he was needed by them. He also feared for his safety, with the plaintiff and a number of other YouTube channels sensationalizing the April 3rd hearing. We have a footnote. There are so many footnotes in this thing.
DUI guy already.
Oh, here we go. One close associate of the plaintiff, lawyer, YouTuber, the DUI guy, and Buckle Up. That's not the name of his channel. It's Buckle Up. It's the law. Traveled with his fiance from Kentucky to cover it for his YouTube channel of 500,000 subscribers. My God.
Isn't this fascinating though? Okay, so his original statements on why he could not show up were pretty we're pretty basic. He was saying here, let me find this real fast. He can't leave for 3 days, because they can't have the absence, money, the wife's rotator cup that requires.
Did you just say rotator cup?
Yep, her rotator cup. Yep. I sure did.
Oh God, I love your verbal problems. It's fantastic.
I'm like, sip from that sucker. He must help.
Wait a minute. Are Larry and Chandler engaged? I don't think that happened.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so.
I would think I would know that. Oh, hey, Karen, thanks for the Cash App. Appreciate that. She sent me 10. Appreciate that.
Bruce would know that for sure. He's probably kept up.
He's probably stalking them. I mean, I have every reason to believe they will be engaged pretty soon, but I don't think they've made that announcement, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But he always calls her his girlfriend. Oh,
Bruce
the
would be
chat
mad
says
if he
yes.
didn't let him know, though. Huh?
The chat
chat said
says
what?
yeah, that they were
Yes.
engaged in Italy.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I don't.
Robert says they got
don't-
married at the courthouse. No, they're going to let Tug marry them.
That's right. That's why I got it. Boom, boom, boom. How did you let the cat out of the bag? The cat's in the bag, and the bag's now in the river, Megan. Oh, God.
The cat's in the bag and the silver-haired lawyer. I don't know. Anyway.
What the what's going on with that? I was quoting that movie, Raising. I guess you probably haven't.
I
seen
actually
that
haven't
one.
seen Raising Cain. I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
No, there's
Uh,
there's two there's two movies. Actually, there's this movie with John Lithgow that also notes that he plays a killer, and he's like, the cat's in the bag and the bag's in the river.
You going to bed, buddy? All right. Good night. Sleep tight. Love you. Close my door. Okay.
Here is his breakdown, though. He has a breakdown in 123. Now, he throws a few other things in this, but in 123, in one of the footnotes, in footnote 10, he actually...
I'm trying to pull this up, and it's not working.
I get it, too. It's funny. Here, he noted his reasonings, though. He said, A, he had 2 clients' unemployment hearings. They'd be left underrepresented. B, wife has medical appointments that he has to take her to. C, long-awaited dental appointment. D, daughter band rehearsal. E, family matters, which he said he would never tell us about, but in 124 he tells us about. That's the one about family tragedy, and he can't leave. And F, nobody will answer my calls at my office. So he actually had his excuses. He filed 2 documents, not 1, 2 documents that talked about that. And now he has totally changed everything that he was saying.
Yes, it's very interesting. I'm glad you had that ready to pull up. Flux, by the way, says Chandler and Larry are not engaged yet. LMAO. And she would know because she's one of Chandler's best friends. So that is fake news, folks. Fake news.
You are fake news.
So that's one thing that's glaringly, obviously wrong in this filing. Let's see what else is glaringly, obviously wrong. Okay.
Just like, when guys talk, typically, women, maybe you want to talk about that. When guys talk about it, it's like usually not anything that comes up, Yeah. Maybe like, how's your family? Yeah, good. Okay, there. That's about it. Now let's go on with other stuff.
So he says he also feared for his safety with people coming to the hearing and some of his zealous followers vowing to attend in person. He paid for a security escort for $700.
You're paying for escorts? Oh, security escorts.
Escorts, what? Uh-huh.
That's interesting, though. Right now, so this is another interesting thing someone pointed out to me. So over on the ecosystem, there's been talk about Bruce, he needs private security. And suddenly, there's been this talking point now, back in December, that he had to have private security. Not before, never heard that one before. I didn't. Did you? Did you ever hear him talking about that?
No, I didn't. And strangely, no one witnessed anyone with him at the courthouse. If you paid $700 for private security, they would be with you in the courthouse. I know this because I paid like $5,000 for security on a St. Louis trip. And security is way more expensive than $700, by the way. And he came with me armed into a courthouse and also into the House of Representatives. And he didn't leave my side the entire time. When you hire a security, like I hired Pinkerton, when you hire those guys, like they stay with you. They don't let you out of their sight. So who was the security guy? I don't know if I believe this. But he was alone. Jeremy says he saw him walking from his car to the courthouse totally alone. And then he was in the courthouse totally alone. He wouldn't get in the elevator with them, and he was totally alone.
Well,
It's weird.
I mean, show the receipts. You know, it's pretty easy. Show the receipts, prove them, show where they're from.
And if it was only $700, I'd be surprised. Actual security is way more than that. I have the receipts to prove it. I paid Pinkerton like $5,000. I mean, granted, it was for like several days, but still. The undersigned. Oh, this is you. You're starting here.
The undersigned was also fearful of being involuntarily videotaped and photographed for YouTube content. Where? In the parking lot?
Yeah, like in public where that's not illegal? What do you mean?
Because nobody's going to do anything.
Can't have a phone in the courthouse. Yeah.
Nobody violated anything within the courtroom. So
no, they take all devices. You're not allowed to have a phone. Nothing.
But I mean, that's ridiculous. Straight up. So what was he talking about? Like out in public? Well, it's fascinating considering ecosystem again. They violate, in my opinion, Ohio protective order.
Poor Larry. Larry's in the chat. We are not engaged. Thanks for that one, Bruce. That's leading to some awkward conversations at Larry's house tonight.
Totally.
Unfortunately, Larry, the entire world just thinks that you are. Everyone thinks you got engaged in Italy for some strange reason. We had to tell the chat that you were not engaged, and now you're going to have to probably argue about that at home for a while. Oh, God.
Well, I can Pope hat it up, man. Like if anybody ever need a YouTube ceremony, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Tug's got his license.
Yeah, then I got it for real. Like no joke. He
can marry you. So whenever you're ready for that,
to be your, yeah, exactly.
And in fact, he'll do it on the courthouse steps during this federal case. If you want.
Maybe we can get Bruce to be your ring bearer, Oh my God, we could get Lynette. It would be just like, with the Gollum thing, It'd be precious. It'd be like, give me that ring.
Oh man. It'd be so good. And what we can do is we can take all these documents the papers in this case that have been filed so frivolously, we can shred them and throw them at you like rice. That'd be great. Like that
would be rice would be like a snowstorm if we freaking shredded them all.
Put it in like a leaf blower and
be like, oh my God, a blizzard! What's happening? Blow you back to Oz with all that crap. You're like, what's going on? Oh, man.
Patrick W. Hey mom, I'm engaged by court order. Or you could actually hire Lynette to do some, real work, and she could marry you because she's ordained. That's true.
Oh, there you go, buddy. Yeah, it would work.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do it on turtleback. That would be awesome.
Oh, you could have the ring bearer could be a tortoise. You could put the ring on a little pillow strapped to the back of a tortoise.
We want some little people in the walls to carry mine.
Unfortunately, the tortoise would just be trying to escape and be going the other direction.
You'd be like, I have to strap it to his belly because it's on its back.
Oh my God.
He was breakdancing it. You're like, somebody's dragging it. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just resting. You'd be like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
The smell, well, it's a tortoise. They don't bathe a lot. You're like, what is going on? No.
Oh yeah, you could put the tortoise on a skateboard. That might work.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, God. I gotta stop looking at the chat. The chat's derailing me.
Right. That mental image has derailed me. Totally.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, look, I made it. You made it a page. I made it half a sentence. For YouTube content, for the plaintiff and other channels. I wonder what other channels. I wonder if any of us ended up in exhibits. I
Oh,
wonder
God.
indeed. Oh, Lord. Profiting from their coverage by mocking, defaming the undersigned. Mocking, yeah, you going out and dropping the bomb, not even going there. I mean, it's amazing. Like you were like, cover this for me, please. Cover all of you. And then we cover. It's like, no, not that way. Y'all are cute.
God.
Yeah, I know I'm cute.
Tug
Now
knows he's
shut
cute.
up and let me marry you folks.
You need now that you've been called cute by DUI guy, you need to change your avatar to Tug's cutest avatar.
Oh,
All right, which one is it? Let's see. Let's see. What are we going for?
I don't know what I have in here. All I've got really, well, I've got my
That one's pretty cute.
Woo, baby.
That'll work. That works.
So pretty. Notwithstanding these explanations, the court's lawful order cannot be open to lawyers' subjective determinations of whether their reasons for disobeying are excusable. Hey, wow, he agrees again. Oh, well, I need to get hit with it. The undersigned will not attempt to argue that he should not be sanctioned because he doesn't believe that.
All right, end of motion. This
Notice
should
the next
be the end.
the next word. However,
However,
oh my God, he's
here
gonna.
come the excuses.
However, the undersigned and his clients believe it is relevant to the court's determination of the nature and degree of the sanctions, how he came to be in the position and the toll this case has exacted on him, his wife, his
where have we heard
practice.
this? Where have we heard this?
How many
before?
times have we heard this?
How many times? He uses this in every single argument against disciplinary proceedings. You're ruining my life, my wife, and my practice, my family, my practice.
We just went through. We just went through a bunch of those letters. And Shizzy's went through a bunch of them as well, and that was his go-to. Again, with the disciplinary, oh my God, I can't live like this because my life, my wife, my practice.
What about all of the rest of our lives? What about my life that's been negatively impacted by the stress and anxiety of this crazy lawyer threatening to sue me all the time and sicking an ex-felon, disbarred, disgraced lawyer on me who's threatening my life and has created revenge porn, deep-faked revenge porn of me? What about my life?
Well, I like how he mentions, later on, he talks about wife, and he has a lot to say with that. And I found that really fascinating, considering this is the same guy, like you're talking about, with paint chips. Paint chips went out, tried to find my wife. He mailed 5 or 6 different emails trying to find the right one. Then he dug up a picture that he thought would be the right picture, and he threatened to dox that picture. So,
yes, he did.
Yeah, 100%.
What about Tug's life and wife?
Yeah,
weird email that Tug got sent that Paint Chips was going to show up with his camera crew at his house.
Yeah. Oh, Brucey though. And you know what, Bruce? I mean, again, I told Bruce, hey, here's these morons. And Bruce made sure, like I said, I didn't include them in the thing. I was like, hey, here you go, Bruce, right here. He included them back in it, and he made sure that they were all full of threats and more. Good job, Bruce. So fuck your excuses, buddy. Fuck your excuses.
Larry's at a show. He says, anyway, we're at a show. See you, fam. Well, enjoy your show, Larry. And
I'm in a show too, buddy. It's called Crazy.
Hope it's not too awkward at home later because of this filing.
This will get awkward.
Good night. All right. And and we're back on his wife, and his practice, which basically has become his Rule 26.
Hey, Rule 26, one more time, motherfucker.
And every time that I hear him say my life, my practice, and my family, I'm going to hit that button, and you'll know what I mean.
Oh, I would have loved for there to be a line in here. He should have been, I'm writing this, Judge, in the midst of apple, plum, and walnut trees. But you know what? At least, Judge, I've stopped biting my fingernails. That was so good last night.
Oh, so good.
And my life, due to the conduct of the plaintiff outside of litigation and of his counsel in it. Oh, Lord. The undersigned volunteered to help indigent, involuntary defendant. I'm tired of the involuntary thing.
Everybody's an involuntary defendant. Every defendant in every case is not there by their choice.
I mean, who volunteers to be sued?
Yeah, you're like, oh, sue me. Yeah, definitely. Put me in a... Can I get sued? You want to sue me? Like, no one does that. There's no such thing as a voluntary defendant. That's absurd.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really goes for that. Oh, you want to see something funny, by the way?
Of course. Always. Do you even have to ask? Like, really?
Oh,
that's insulting.
I need to show you this. All right.
All right, here. I have to remove the current screen.
This is worth it, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Tell me when you pull.
Are you going to hit the button? Hit the button.
Okay.
Because I don't want to double whammy you.
Okay, now.
Oh my God, don't tell me it's animated.
Look at waves. What's up? What's up, people?
I visited Otter Creek and all I got was assaulted.
Yeah, look at it though. It's like, hey, what's up, folks? Like everybody's visited. Oh, yay, what's up?
Oh my God, I love it. I love my hair and glasses in this one. He did a great job on this one. National Lampoons.
This is where we were laughing about it before. And look, the little one down here. Like, watch the little one. She's funny.
They're so cute.
Watch her. She sticks her tongue out. She's like,
oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
that's so fun. I love it.
If you hear me clicking, that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm making moving pictures still. So when I'm not reading, I'm making moving pictures. Okay. Involuntary defendants fight back against being targeted on YouTube, in person, and in court. Oh my God. Now, of course, he doesn't mention the fact that throughout this, protective order doesn't come up. The fact that they've filed cases, they've dismissed, they're in a mess. They don't ever mention that. It would be impossible in a single filing to fully show the content, the extent to which defendant has made defendants Preston and Cook into involuntary characters in YouTube's Bad Neighbors storyline. See Exhibit 1, sample of over 200 videos using the defendant for income-generating content since May 2023. That's fascinating, especially considering 2 L's. How much was earned out of all that?
Yeah, they never he never mentions the what the Hale's media ecosystem that he created.
Yeah,
that covers all of the same
and also,
stuff.
Where's the damages? So these are people that are supposedly indigent and can't afford anything, and yet they have access to enough money to build a home. In fact, she talked about it. They were able to build fences. They were able to have Christmas parties and more that was raised on the back of this. So where are the damages? I mean, they're making more money than they've ever made,
Ever. This is their most successful grift ever.
B, involuntary subject of physical stalking in their daily lives. Again, let's pretend Ohio doesn't exist, right?
Oh, speaking of Ohio, I want to pull up Lorraine's comment here because this is brilliant. Lorraine, you're brilliant. She says, actually, Tug, Lynette and Crook are volunteer defendants because they received a cease and desist that said they'd be sued if they didn't stop. And then they didn't stop. So yes, there are defendants who ask to be sued. Lorraine, You are brilliant. That is absolutely true. I love this point.
That's true.
All right,
Very
sorry.
much so.
Continue.
See Exhibit 2, a compilation of plaintiffs stalking the defendants and making content from it, including filming over defendants' privacy fence that was installed to prevent this.
First of all, he doesn't mention that the filming happens from the road, which is higher than the fence. Like when your car is on the road,
Yeah, you just drive by.
you drive by and you can see over it because the fence is like in a ditch.
And
so the fence is depressed and shorter.
He also doesn't mention the police have told them that it is 100% legal.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't mention that this has already been looked at by law enforcement. So, yeah. They didn't. It's their fault that they did not install a privacy fence that could prevent people from filming from the road if that's what they wanted.
Did they really want that?
I don't know. That's what they said they wanted.
Well,
actions do it.
Well, yeah, actions, it says they had access to how much money? So, I mean, if they would have wanted to build a sky freaking dome, they could build a dome around their house if they wanted to.
Probably. A dome would be funny.
Oh, God, it would look like the Thunderdome,
I was just going to say that. I was going to say it would be just like the Thunderdome. Constant fighting. Fights the turtles, the tortoises are fighting each other to the death.
2 men in our 1 tortoise leaves. You'd be like, wow, this is very strange.
Doesn't she have chickens? I wonder if she has any roosters. They could have cockfighting in the Thunderdome. The balding chickens.
This is sounding very strange. What show have I tuned into?
I don't know.
Could you imagine that would be like your first line you pop into? You're like, wait a minute, what's the show again?
What is? I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, but I am wearing my derailleur avatar tonight. I don't know if you noticed, but the derailleur is back.
Well, on top of that, too, it cracks me up. Megan's like, we're going to be on topic. And I'm like, on your stream? I don't remember us being on stream of my stream, so no way.
I didn't say on topic. I just said I want to make it through all 14 pages. All right, so I'll shut up so you can read.
That assumes that I'm going to stay on topic.
I know.
And see involuntary litigants in this and several other courts. C3, some of the dozens of court update videos. Wait, that doesn't make sense because he's saying the C is about involuntary litigants in cases in the courts. So would a video, that doesn't make sense. That's a terrible way.
Also, he's not telling the judge that 2 of those cases were brought by Lynette Preston. So she's not involuntary. Not an involuntary litigant in those cases. The only other case that Jeremy has
order as well.
The only other case that the judge doesn't know about yet is the Ohio protective order against that they lost, and they were found to be guilty of stalking. So I noticed he doesn't mention that.
Oh, of course not. He's never going to mention. In fact, in 123, like I said, did you get to read 123.1? Did you have a chance or not?
What? No, no, I haven't.
That's where I'm telling. In there, he talks about the thumbnail case and the way he talks about it being. This line, this is a line from it. This is how he tries to take that. He said the plaintiff and his counsel have turned the withdrawn state court thumbnail case into a de facto lawsuit in the guise of post-voluntary dismissal motions for sanctions. And so it's amazing. He complains about that, complete with deposition of counsel, full written discovery, all supposedly to prove the filing of the thumbnail lawsuit was frivolous. So he's saying that they have brought a de facto lawsuit when in fact that is the closure of their lawsuit. So they're spinning this
and it's a consequence. It's a natural consequence for what they did, which was file a frivolous, no merit lawsuit. And it will be found to have no merit. I have no doubt they will have to pay legal fees on that one. And if they don't, there's something broken in the justice system.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I mean, they, you know, if you go out and they'll pull the garbage that they have. She walked away. She actually walked away really easy with the protective order fiasco because Jeremy spent a lot of money, and he allowed her to withdraw. And after that, what did they do? They were like, "Oh, we can keep going. Then we can keep going." So they need to be hit for it because they'll never stop otherwise. You know. It is impossible to show the full extent and effects of the plaintiff's targeting of the undersigned and his family to make YouTube content for entertainment and profit. So it's all about him. Though. I thought it was about I thought it was about Lynette Preston and them, though. I thought that's what.
Wait, is he talking about himself?
Yeah, he said the undersigned. So he said himself and my family.
The plaintiff's targeting of the undersigned and his family. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, he's seriously, like, wait a minute. Bruce begged to be in this case, and he begged to get YouTubers to cover it. Wait, okay, we need to pull up those letters. Okay. So you've got the letters. I asked.
I've got some now. Up. You have.
Do I have more?
Be fair, yeah, you have. When he asked you to cover the John Cook case, remember that? I
still haven't found that one. I know it's in here somewhere.
It's in your email then, because it's right after that, because he told you to. You know, I look forward. Well, he actually he sent you two different emails. He sent one on top of the "I won't sue you if," you know, that one. He sent you one and said you don't have to take down videos. And then there was one about him telling you.
All right. Well, I'll look for it in my inbox. You pull up the other ones that you have.
Yeah, let's put it.
And while you do that, I will look for it.
Okay.
He started doing this thing though in the emails that he sends me to have them self-destruct in a certain amount of days, which is really stupid. But
it's fascinating if he's sent them though. If he decides he wants to go to court, you know, like he keeps saying he's going to sue and do this or that, then you have every right. Like if you ever made it that far, you would have every right to request. And if he lied, hey, it's documented in live stream. So good luck with that one. Don't lie about it. You know? So here, all the way back, you can see in April, he was actually asking to come on. Like here, he's asking.
Oh, wait, here we have to pull this down and pull yours up. There we go. Yeah. Can you make it bigger?
Yeah. Well, I have to be careful how much because it'll.
Here, we can make it. We can make it.
I'll pull certain pieces.
There we go.
You know, again, I'm not reading through this whole thing anyway. I'm just noting in this, he's writing me and being like, oh, you know, why don't you have even one person on there to offer a actual legal analysis, you know, instead of vices and UI lawyers. Okay. Then he brings up, of course, his go-to. Megan Fox, how did you get involved? Blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, all it'll take, this is where he's shoehorning himself into this, to turn the tables is a competent lawyer willing to represent Preston in federal court, where she can bring counterclaims, and let me know if you want to set your coverage apart by having a serious lawyer discuss the many issues not being discussed.
So here he is volunteering to be on YouTube, he wants this coverage. He wants to be part of this case. He wants to be covered. And yet he's telling
mine channel specifically, you know, so.
But he's complaining in this filing about that umbrella guy, Megan Fox, all of us. And he asked all of us for coverage of this.
Now, one of the best ones, and I can't wait to debut this one, Bruce, when you decide you're going to sue and say we shouldn't be able to cover, you sent me 9 pictures of everyone, including the child. So my opinions would be very relevant on said child, because you noted, hey, are you covering the airport photo issue? Sent me 9 pictures there. Oh, is this where you draw the line? I assume you're 100% certain the airport photos show the kids plural, were driven there, and they all appear to be happy. So this is an invitation, not just to cover, but it's to give my opinion on kids, plural, You know, that includes the little one, that includes the grandson. Again, 9 pictures. I have them squared out, but they are complete pictures. I have them all filed away. So yeah, I mean, he sent all of that, but he's asking me, you know, hey, here we go. Why aren't you covering this? Cover it, you know? And he sent me pictures I didn't have. So, and this is right after, again, shows how frivolous the thumbnail stuff is, because he's like, here's my thumbnail stuff. By the way, why aren't you covering this?
It's so crazy.
Then he wrote this asking for coverage to journalists. He tagged us all in there too. He said, you know, yeah, this was the long one where he was telling that he wanted a mainstream legal media in that. They would be invited on numerous YouTube channels for legal analysis. So he's again saying this should be covered on YouTube. You know, he's, oh my God, those guys. But he's like, oh, my guys here, they're the best. Oh, they're the best. Yeah, like, all right. Oh, the shizzy emails that are funny. These were the first. I always keep those. Then here's his demand for us not to cover. You remember that? Okay. Well,
yes.
After that, then he decides, hey, let me send you over the 2 morons, Paint Chip and Darth Touch. Let me make sure to include you by emailing you coverage. So I'm going to include you and apprise you.
Trying to get us to cover that. Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget the non-privileged offer of settlement that he mailed out to all the journalists covering the case. You notice that's me. That is my email. So, yeah, that's
I was
funny.
copied on that as well.
Yeah,
I was
you got your own. We were all BCC'd, so I can't see everybody else. You know, on there. But that right there, that's plenty just to showcase.
And I found the one. Here's one. Look at this. September 20th. Hey, did you hear that Mr. Cook's charges were dismissed? Tyra's complaint too. Looking forward to your coverage.
Yeah, there you go, baby. Yeah, I mean, again,
what else do you call that other than entrapment? If he's trying to get us to cover things, and then he's going to sue us for covering the case.
No, that's not just him. No, let's not get this twisted. That's Lynette Preston, and that is her trying to entrap us into cover. Right. Not him, because that's her legal counsel. Yes. So, doesn't work that way, Lynette. Sorry about your luck, but Bruce really screwed that one up.
Well, my sister about that today. I was going over some of this with her, and I told her about that specific claim that they want to sue us for, because they don't like what we're saying, and that I have emails of him asking me to cover this story. She started laughing out loud hysterically. She was like, oh, that's going to work out real well for him in court.
Oh, yeah. I would, like I said, I would make sure, because he has went out of his way to do so many things, that I would make sure that I included him in lawsuits. If I get pulled into a lawsuit, I will sue his ass. He better run all the way to another country, because I will bankrupt him. He's like, oh, it's about, nah, I will get my justice, boy.
Oh, man. All right. Where are we at? Oh, it's my page. Okay. Since May of 2023, the plaintiff has propagated a bad neighbor storyline on his YouTube platform, targeting Preston Cook and Preston's now 5-year-old daughter. The content generated from the bad neighbor saga, especially litigation-related content, is a major source of income for the plaintiff. Well, he better be able to prove that. I don't think that that's true. In May of 2024, the undersigned watched the plaintiff on his YouTube videos boasting about suing his neighbors, Preston and Cook, to take their land. I don't think that he ever said he wanted to take their land. I think he said it might be a consequence of winning a judgment against them, because it's the only thing they own that's worth anything. That they have no money and would be defenseless in federal court to stop him. Notice how there's no quotes, no direct quotes here. And they would never find a lawyer to help them.
What's fascinating though is, yeah, he was already trying to insert himself into this though in April, because on April the 19th, he wrote me trying to get on my channel. So
He
his
wrote me in
April,
he
May.
wrote me in March.
See,
And I think he wrote Shizzy in February.
I wonder when he wrote DUI guy.
Not Shizzy,
Get on his channel.
DUI guy.
DUI guy. Okay.
He wrote Larry in February. I found that out the other day when we were talking. His first attempt at contacting somebody was Larry. And then it was me. So it was February, Larry, March was me, April was you.
Yeah, he didn't try me for mac and cheese that I know of. So, just a note.
Oh yeah, he went after me for the mac and cheese thing.
Yeah. He went after you guys for mac and cheese, and then he was like, "Let me on to talk about how serious of a lawyer I am, Tug."
Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I will tell you guys, if we hit 100 super chats tonight, I will give you a sneak peek of Bruce's mac and cheese original email to me set to music for the musical. I don't have a video for it yet, but I do have the song, and it's hilarious. And if we hit 100, which we're already halfway there, if we hit 100 tonight, I will play it, and you will love it. It is very funny. I put his letter, his exact words, in the first letter he sent me to music. And it's so funny. I've been working very diligently, by the way, on the musical. I'm working on it every day. I should have year 1 ready to go soon. It's going to be great. It's going to be so good. So there's a little motivation for you. and also just with all the problems that I'm having at the school, at the public school with Ferry, I have to consult with attorneys. And I just found out today that a consultation with the attorneys I want to talk to is going to cost like $200, which sucks. I know it is, but you know what? I asked Larry about it, and he was like, "Well, for an expert, yeah, that's normal, and yeah, you should probably pay it." So, so. It sucks because the state owes us these accommodations and whatever, and I have to hire someone and I've already paid them in property taxes, right? But then you have to go and get a lawyer to fight them to give you what you're already entitled to. Oh, Lori, thanks for the 50. You too, Joanne. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. That's awesome. So yeah, when we get to 100 super chats tonight, I will play that song for you guys, and you will laugh your heads off. It's very funny. Very, very funny. All right. Where was I? In April. Okay, he was stalking Jeremy's YouTube videos and blah, blah, blah. They would be defenseless in federal court to stop him, and they would never, ever find a lawyer to help them. On May 28th, 2024, the plaintiff updated his 700,000 YouTube subscribers about this and other legal actions against the defendants and his plans to use the present action to take their property in a video titled "Bad Neighbors in Court Again." And now we have a hysterical footnote. This excerpt spans the first 6 minutes and 40 seconds of the video at this link. Should we watch it?
Jesus. We can if you want. Yeah, I think so. I think we should.
All right, hold on. Let me see.
I think we should, just because I don't trust this idiot to,
I have to get rid of this pencil. Undo pencil. Go away, pencil.
Get your pencil out of there.
Wait,
son.
I need my selection tool back. Oh, there we go. Select. What is this? All right, so I just have to copy and paste, I guess, because it's not a live link. All right, hold on.
I always like to know how long a video is when he's like, "Hey, I'm taking an excerpt from it." Yeah.
I know. So he said it's the first 6 minutes and 40 seconds of this video. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. I hope his link isn't broken because that will just annoy me. Okay, here it is. What is the date on this? It says 10 months ago. All right. Oh, where? Stop.
Yeah.
Share screen.
He said it was what, May? So.
Yeah, May.
Mm.
All right.
Jeremy always
Jeremy.
has.
Crook are headed back to court, not just in Ohio, not just in Florida, in the federal and the county, but also in family court. John Crook and Lynette Preston. It's got to be a better last name than Preston. Press on, President. I'm going to have to work on that. You can maybe help me with that a little bit. Lynette something. In court.
I just realized he has a ketchup pillow.
Right now, they were in Ohio court. For
It says, I like ketchup on my ketchup.
Now they're going back. As a matter of fact, we have filed. They will be served here soon. And we are.
Okay, everything he said so far is factual.
Mm-hmm.
Are mandating, we are asking the courts to mandate they must be there in person. They have to show. And if they don't show, then there can be a warrant for their arrest. Now, there are those who are going to say that Florida won't extradite them to Ohio. That's fine. I pay a bodyguard. It will happen one way or another. Wait, not a bodyguard. No. That's a whole nother thing I have to do when I'm around Lynette and Crook. I pay a body hunter. Oh, yes, hunter. Hopefully, they're allowed to have their Second Amendment rights, because I'm not. So there are a lot of different questions around the federal case. What's happening there? Well, depositions are going to be happening here within the next month. Crook and Lynette will have multiple days in Gainesville in the federal court. It will not be via Zoom, even though it will all be recorded. And others will be deposed and mandated as well, or they will be in contempt of court. Russell Meeks Sr., Marla Hughes, and others, just to name a few. Amanda Martin, her son, Rat Cunningham. And I could go on and on. It's going to be a lot of depositions. It's going to be a lot of video footage. And no doubt it's going to be very, very funny. And at the same time, these are serious issues because they've tried to extort me. They've tried to defame me. Well, they didn't try. They did.
Okay, so he's saying because he said it's going to be very, very funny, that's what? That's proof that this is all for content? No, but it is funny. It is.
He just said, hey, they tried to extort me, though. They tried to defame me, and they did. And, so
it can be two things at once. Serious.
Hey, man.
And funny.
Owning the people who try to wreck me. Hell yeah, that's funny.
There's no law against laughing at idiots who try to destroy your life and you get to slap back. There's no law against laughing and enjoying that. None. Zero. And here he is talking about the seriousness of the things they did to him.
These are the things that have happened. But that's not the only thing that's happening right now. The adoption records are being unsealed. It's being challenged within the family courts. I mean, these two have gotten themselves into so much trouble. Even when I was just at Otter Creek, they had the cops over there because they were fighting with none other than the Hudson sisters. Yeah, the sweet heritage of the Hudson sisters. And Lynette and Crook are constantly messing with the residents of Hudson.
By the way, in the Shara deposition where we left off, I read a couple pages ahead, and we are about to hear about a major fight, not a major fight, but a really bad situation between Lynette and the Hudson sisters.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And it's shocking. It's shocking. And it has to do with murdering little dogs.
Oh, that's what the dog thing was about, huh?
So, okay, everything he said here was factual, except that the adoption records.
How far are we in? How many minutes?
2 minutes and 36 seconds.
Okay.
The adoption records they did file to have them unsealed, and that filing, in case people are wondering, the judge denied it and said no. He said that I think that one was with prejudice, but the emergency petition for custody was dismissed without prejudice because there was some issue with how it was filed. And I don't know where that stands at this point. I don't know if they're going back to do it again. Probably not, because he has threatened those attorneys and threatened the aunts with a lawsuit.
Otter Creek. And I know many people have questions. For example, right here, Jan Mitchell. Or it might be Jan Michelle. It might be Jan Michael. I don't know. It's Jan. I know it's Jan. Okay. Jan says this. I have a question about the state of Florida. If someone is delinquent on their property tax, can someone else pay the taxes and become the new property owner? I know in Washington State, where I grew up, you can. I also know in Tennessee, where I lived there in the last 25 years, you can too. So if you can, why doesn't somebody just go and pay the taxes and then kick Lynette and evict her off of the property? So Jan asked a very good question. She's asking a question what's called tax liens. And there are plenty of people who invest in tax lien properties. What that means is they have not paid their taxes, their real estate taxes on that property. Government then takes and seizes that property and it goes up for auction. So in every state, the laws are a little bit different. Now, I have my hands in this. As a matter of fact, Christian and Patience live in a home that I bought at tax lien. It's called sheriff's sale as well. There's a little bit different.
Okay, so far he's just educating people on what it means to buy a property that's under a tax lien. He's not speaking about Lynette's property specifically, and he's answering a question from the chat. Okay.
It's with the sheriff's sale, but at any rate, can you purchase the taxes or pay the taxes and become an owner with a tax lien sale in Florida? And the answer is yes, that can happen. Now, there are different variations of things that happen along the way and the timeline, but the reality is you can pay back taxes and then you can own that piece of property. Now, the follow-up question is, Jeremy, did you pay the taxes? No. I brought the spotlight to the unpaid taxes because I wanted the taxes paid, because when the federal government seizes the property, I don't want any other issues because taxes weren't paid. In other words, checkmate with Crook and Lynette. Tony Hyde wants to know, Jeremy, can you actually put a lien on Lynette and Crook's property? Well, Tony, you could put a lien on people's property if you've done work for them and they didn't pay, if you have proof of non-payment. And what that lien basically means is if they ever go and sell that property, a portion of that sale has to be given to you. They can't sell without money going towards you. So there's no legal way I can put a lien on their property, which frankly, I don't want to. Why would I want an extra legal issue? I want the federal government to take care of all of this with sanctions and settlement within the federal court system where it's free and clear, where taxes are paid, everything is paid. Now, you're going, are taxes paid? Did they actually pay their back taxes? Well, somebody did, but is it Crook or Lynette? Well, remember, she's getting more donations than she's ever gotten in all of her life with all the previous years combined. She's getting more donations now. And yet she's telling Judge Craig DeThomas, I've destroyed her life. I've destroyed her turtle rescue. I've destroyed this beautiful story of adoption. And yet she loves it. And she loves it because she's getting more funding, more gifts in kind. That means material gifts. A gift in kind, if you ever hear that with fundraising, this is a gift in kind. It's a material gift. It's not cash. It's a material thing.
How many minutes is in
your hand?
6.
And so she's
okay. So there's your first 6 minutes. Like, where's the statement?
He said 40. He says there's 40 more seconds.
Oh, 40 more. Okay. All right.
But so far, he said he doesn't want to do that. That's what I heard. He doesn't want to put a
I'm
lien.
just wondering. I'm trying to make sure, like, I want to see exactly.
Yeah, me too. I want to
are.
see what is he talking about. So we got 40 more seconds to hear him say he's going to take their property or whatever.
Than she's ever received in her whole entire life, all combined. And yes, I can prove it based on records. So I don't want to put a lien on her property because I don't want additional encumbrances on that. What I want is to go into federal court. And here's the funny thing. The funny thing is there are those out there that would go, it's Florida. You can't take property in Florida. Yeah, federal courts can and will seize property, and it will go up for auction. You want to guess who the highest bidder is going to be? Because all of the funds are going to go to me anyway.
Okay, so that's it.
With all this,
so that's it.
Yeah, so winning in court. I mean, what else is he going to get from these people?
Right, that's it. He didn't. He said he wants to go through the federal court system and get whatever it is, a judgment he can get. Now, it's probably only going to be that one thing they own, which is property. I don't see what is the big deal. I don't understand what he's trying to say here. He didn't say he was trying to run them out of their home. He's basically answering questions from the chat, asking, how do you get paid back? for this, for what they've done. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, but that's the problem here. See, Bruce likes to make claims, and it's like he doesn't expect anybody to do any due diligence whatsoever. Reminds me of dealing with the fucking mainstream press, you know?
Yeah, let's see if his transcript matches what we just watched. Because here is a transcript that he put in here. Lynette and Crook are headed back to court, not just Ohio. And then he has a footnote. Oh, God, his whiny footnotes. This is a reference to the plaintiff having obtained a protective order. Oh, he brought it up. Oh, my goodness. In an Ohio state court against Preston and Cook for events allegedly occurring in Florida. And despite Preston and Cook never having been to Ohio, the plaintiff
Doesn't matter.
I know, it doesn't. The plaintiff uses it to constantly threaten Preston and Cook with contempt filings, which they've been held in contempt twice. So how is it a threat when a judge decides, yeah, you did it? Based on violations, he openly admits on YouTube to machinating for this purpose. Oh, where does he do that? That's ridiculous. When has he ever said that? And notice how he doesn't have an example. He does. He says, see document 123.1.
That's 123. I told you he brought it up.
What's in 123.1?
123, it was in part 2 protective order. So it says this here. I'll show you because he's talking about the 10 feet thing. And I love that he opened this door up because this door allows.
All right, let's see. You can pull up what if you can pull up 123.1. I want to see. He says,
yeah, I'm specifically pulling part 2, which is Ohio protective order. So it's this right here.
All right.
In October 2023, the plaintiff somehow obtained a protective order from an Ohio state court magistrate to use against the defendants in Florida. Now, again, remember, they answered a question. The court itself in that protective order had questions about different states. So they answered, how does jurisdiction work? We read that back when. Yeah. In that proceeding, the plaintiff was represented by counsel appearing live, while the defendants appearing remotely from Florida pro se. Since then, the plaintiff has used the Ohio protective order to terrorize the defendants in Florida with threats of contempt and, again, same statement he put in the footnote. Blah, blah, blah. This is the exact same. So this is what he said. This is the exact same link.
And this is a link. It is the same link?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I haven't checked. Actually,
that's his.
He says this is the video for 10 feet. So,
that's the 10. Well, yeah. But he's not machinating. What scenario?
Well, they were found guilty of that. Not only that, but this is only one video. So we learned that there were actually 2 videos. One that, according to the court, when they talked about it, she supplied one as well. And they found that to be a violation. So, in it, though, the plaintiff purposely slows down while driving with his camera pointed out the window as he passes the defendants who are measuring property lines on the edge of their property, yelling 10 feet, 10 feet. He used this incident to obtain contempt filings against the pro se defendants for communicating with him.
And how the hell could he get that contempt finding if the judge didn't find them in contempt?
Yeah. It doesn't matter if they're pro se in it either. I mean, again, it would be, it's not just a communication. They didn't want to get out of the road. I mean, that's the way it was described. We read through it. So those audio taped Ohio proceedings, I love this part, became a major content generator for the plaintiff and other YouTube channels using puppet sticks. Puppet sticks.
That was the best video ever.
We are doing that again. We are doing the puppet sticks again.
We are.
To depict the persons heard on court audio. So that's all he adds there. That's what he just referenced him back to. And again, what he's admitting here is that there was a protective order. The federal judge doesn't have, or magistrate doesn't have any control over the protective order. It has been decided. So you have protective order, violation. So, good opening that door for them. I'm actually glad that Bruce did that. I thought that was one of the dumbest things that he could do.
So dumb. So dumb. And by the way, I just checked over on Rumble and oh my goodness. S1 Mons sent $300 for real lawyers to help with your woes. Maybe not on YouTube. Thank you so much. Let me pull this up. I took a screenshot of it. Hold on, so I can pull it up here because it's hard. I can't pull up Rumble rants for whatever reason. So thank you, Simons. Thank you so much. That is so awesome. I will call them tomorrow and set the appointment, and I really appreciate you. And that is so generous. Thank you so much.
That's great. That's great because it needs to be done.
It does, and I've been avoiding it because of the cost. Because I feel like I'm getting so screwed. Our taxes, we have the highest property taxes in the nation. New York does, and we pay so much for the public schooling that we're supposed to get. And she is entitled to accommodations for medical problems, and they're making me fight for it. And it's so wrong. And the kid that, committed the crime against her, he got those accommodations instantly when
It's crazy.
he got it. They didn't have to fight for it. And kids who, punch out teachers and get suspended, they don't have to fight for in-home tutoring. They get it immediately. And I have to go and hire. My daughter's never had a disciplinary problem. She's never been suspended. She's a high honor student, and she's having a medical issue that keeps her out of school and has her falling behind in classes. And they are making me hire a lawyer to fight them to get what she's entitled to, which is in-home tutoring. And I'm very angry. So thank you so much for allowing me to take care of that tomorrow. I feel like crying. Thank you so much. It's been so stressful. I can't even tell you. It's been crazy. All right, let's go back to this filing that we are working on here. Okay, that really threw me. That was so kind.
So one example, that's actually the same link. I bet you money. I bet you, because that's the, because he says one example is depicted here. It's in a Google Drive, which of course I will note anyone clicking on a Google Drive, they will probably be able to track you. They will be able to track your your ISP on there. So use a VPN. Do not let them track exactly where you're from, because they probably are doing so.
Yeah. Be careful with the Google. I don't want to click on that. And besides which, we've already seen that video. It's the 10 feet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. So it says, we got to go back up to where the freaking thing. Okay. Not just in Florida, in the federal and the county, but also in family court. In court, so we have how many court cases right now? They were in Ohio court for contempt of court. They've been found guilty for contempt of court now. They're going back, as a matter of fact. We have filed and they will be served here soon. And we are asking the courts to mandate that they must be there in person. And they have to show. And, that didn't happen. I guess the court said no, they could be on remote because they were remote. So he did say all of that. So there are a lot of different questions around the federal case. What's happening there? Well, depositions are going to be happening here within the next month. Crook and Lynette will have multiple days in Gainesville in the federal court. It will not be via Zoom, even though it will all be recorded and others will be deposed and mandated. That all happened, by the way, or they will be in contempt of court. All of that actually happened. All right, so here's the rest of the transcript, Tug. You want to start with Russell Meeks?
Mm-hmm. Russell Meek, Meek, Sr., Marla Hughes, and others, just to name a few. Amanda Martin, her son, Rat Cunningham, and I could go on and on. It's going to be a lot of depositions. It's going to be a lot of video footage. Is that okay? There's a footnote there, right?
Oh, okay. Well, let's go down to whiny footnote number 5.
No, 4.
4. Sorry. Video.
We'll get 5 in a second.
Okay.
Videotaping deposition was precluded, Doc 41, after the plaintiff moved, Doc 38, to prevent them from being broadcast, or rather defendants moved to, no, actually that was not true. Videotaping had already been precluded. There was no need for it. So their move was considered moot, remember? So they didn't get it. It's funny, he's not even talking about what the order was correctly. The plaintiff ended up taking only 2 including Amanda Martin, demonstrating the foiled purpose was to create video content. That doesn't say it's video content. That's saying he said these people, they have done all of these terrible things to me. Well, now we're going to have court hearing and all of them will be deposed. And thank you for bragging about how, you haven't allowed deposition. Huh, that's fascinating, by the way. Are you telling us that you had something to do with that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what kind of admission is that? Huh. Okay, give me a second.
Right here.
Yeah, I had to zoom back in. And no doubt it was going to be very funny. And at the same time, these are serious issues because they've tried to extort me. And they've tried to defame me. And, but that's not the only thing that's happening right now. Adoption records are being unsealed. It's being challenged within the family courts. There's footnote 5. You know, it's going to be.
All right. More whining. More
yeah.
whining. Here we go. Whiny footnote number 5.
This refers to the emergency custody petition. The plaintiff was involved in orchestrating, generating months of YouTube content for a Save Harley Grace, a Preston's Child storyline that was used to terrorize Preston about potentially having her child removed from custody. See Doc 123. That document, by the way, he has a whole narrative on that case. I don't know. I don't want to listen to the whining yet again. The emergency consent. Well, that one, it's the same thing. He has thrown the same words, whether it's been in the letter or the open letter DUI guy or this, it's copy paste. And it's so ridiculous because that's not something that Jeremy has brought. That was family members that brought it.
And can we also take a moment to remember that this response is supposed to just be about why he shouldn't be sanctioned for not showing up?
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to.
This has nothing to do with any of that.
Well,
he's trying to litigate the entire case in this one motion again. Yeah.
And how many times? Again, this... If this doesn't piss the judge off, man, because it's a garbage filing. It's a garbage way to do this. Like you said, he is trying yet again to use something inappropriately. And he would have had time. If he wanted to come in and argue in front of the court to talk about whatever, he had the chance to do that. He could have done it in the sanctions hearing, but he chose not to arrive. And now what's he doing? He's trying to argue about all this stuff yet again. So what I want is to go into federal court. And here's the funny thing. The funny thing is that there are those out there that would go, it's Florida. You can't take property in Florida. Yeah, federal courts can and will seize property. It will go up for auction. You want to guess who the highest bidder is going to be because all the funds are going to go to me anyhow. I skipped a little bit of that, didn't we? It's funny, we kept the whole beginning of that 6 minutes, but we skipped how we got to that part.
He skipped all of the context that he was answering questions from the chat, educating people on how tax liens work, et cetera, and tax sales, et cetera, and also answering questions about how he would obtain a judgment because because they're indigent or whatever. And so he's answering the question. And he's right. I don't understand what this, and I don't know what this has to do with Bruce not showing up. I really don't. Okay. All right. Here, and it's, missing tons of pieces, tons of context. However, Randy does not get to respond to this. Jeremy doesn't get to respond to this. The judge has put a freeze on everything. He has been very clear. He doesn't want anything from Jeremy. He wants nothing on this case except what he's asked for. So there will be no response to this from Jeremy.
Did you really ask for this? That's the question.
No, nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this. No one in their right mind would ask for this. All right, moving on.
Several other YouTube channels were one-sidedly propagating the plaintiff's bad neighbor storyline about Preston and Cook. See footnote 6.
Oh no, footnote number 6. Okay.
Let's see. Let's see how this goes.
It is.
They are crazy. They live in squalor. They stalk me to Otter Creek to extort me. They're drug addicts and alcoholics. They abuse. She said they're fucking alcoholics.
Hold on. She said he's an alcoholic several times to the police on 911 calls. She said it in recorded police records.
She's talked about him using freaking prescription. You know, when you take
prescription pills.
Yeah. So, I mean, come on.
You're also going to see in the Shara deposition. Did we get to the part where he asked Shara about what do you know about her being on Xanax?
I don't remember if we did.
I don't think so. I think it's coming up in the pages I read ahead in, and you can make your own inferences from Shara's answers, but she didn't say no. And so there's all kinds of information about the possibility of that kind of thing.
They abused Preston's child. Well, again, what did Lynette say happened? What did she say that the child said to her that she would not report? She didn't. She reported. Yeah. She reported it to Shara.
She also told Shara. Shara also overheard her threaten the child with melatonin. She also said to a 911 operator that she was going to spank her mouth. She also admitted to a police officer on a recorded thing that she screams at her all the time and doesn't know how to stop and needs help. We've heard her scream at the child all the time on recordings. We've heard we saw her lock her in a trailer by herself and the police had to stop her. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion that that's not the proper way to treat a child. Everyone.
We also heard about Bruce being told about this and saying that she would grow out of it, according to Shara. Fascinating. So, the child's nonverbal, not potty trained, property is unsafe. You get a nail in your eye, man. Nail in your eye.
Yeah, it's all coming from Lynette's own words. There's glass. Watch out for the glass. Snakes, baby. Snakes, mama. Snakes. You'll get a nail in your eye. I have it. We have it on video. Like, it's unsafe. It's clearly unsafe. And Lynette thinks it's unsafe.
The Preston's adoption was to use the child for government benefits and all manner of other defamation.
Well, interestingly enough, we have proof that a psychologist reported that she told her that when she had custody of Ashley, that she wanted her for the money. And when she was told she was losing her, she said, well, there goes $400 a month. That is in the documents of her stepdaughter Ashley's when Ashley was taken away from her by CPS. And we've heard from Ashley personally verifying that. So if she has done it one time, it is always possible she's doing it again. And that's what if people are saying that, if that's their opinion of it, that it sure looks like she's doing it to get whatever stuff from the government or whatever, that is also an opinion that has a lot of facts behind it. I can show a pattern of behavior with that psychological report. All right, let's go
like
back
I
up.
said, I think it'll be interesting to tell a fucking court, if you want to play this game, Bruce, that you yourself knew that messages were real about your client telling somebody that this child had reported terrible things happening to them and was not going to report it. You yourself knew that it was real. That'll be a fun conversation, won't it? Why wouldn't you do that? You know, I mean, you pretend, you feign like you care about kids. You say that, and yet that's something that you don't seem to want to acknowledge. You acknowledged that the letter was real, but you were like, why would you dox that message? Not why the fuck would something like that come up and not be brought up to proper authorities by the person making those statements? God, that annoys me. That part gets under my skin.
Oh, and we also have, oh shoot, as soon as I started talking, I got a notification on my Apple Watch and it like reset my brain. Have you ever had that happen where it vibrated on my wrist and it reset my brain? All right, great. We can just go back to the document. I don't know what I was going to say.
It's like it hit your funny bone.
Yeah, it just reset my brain completely. Like I had a thought going and then it went zzz, and gone.
Yeah, I get
So
distracted.
weird.
I'm like, wait, what was I talking about?
Wait, I know I had a good point, but it'll come back to me later.
And profiting from content, whereas none were offered any information or analysis from from the perspective of the neighbors being targeted. We've invited them to come on, actually. Asshole. We
I have, and
invited
also
them.
this is false. This is fake news. We have also read every single one of their filings, which is
but we've
covering-
invited them specifically. I would let them on in a heartbeat to talk. I won't let Bruce, because Bruce, you are a scumbag and a coward. You know, no. You tried to take down Veteran Nation's channel. We have proof of that. And after you tried to do that, I would not trust you to come on a channel. No way.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And in case you guys were wondering how close we are to the goal, we are at 78 super chats. When we hit 100, I'm going to play for you Bruce's very first email to me about the mac and cheese case set to music. And it's hilarious. Okay. You're here.
The undersigned began to contact channels covering the story, offering to give an alternative view of what the plaintiff was doing from a legal standpoint. So he was, again, he's asking for coverage. Like, that's great.
Yep.
Thanks
so
for
he
admitting
admits it. Thanks for admitting it.
Yeah.
Thanks. The undersigned began to contact channels. Yep. And we have all of that evidence. And here you go. Number 7, another whiny, huge footnote.
This is about the grudge judge, you know, and saying, oh my God, when grudge judge has been removed. Oh, by the way, news.
Oh, yeah. I get to add him to the wall again.
Yeah.
Only judge in the history of my wall of shame that's been added. Now, this will be the 3rd time, maybe 4th. I can't remember.
Let's see. He was taken out of the protective order. The trespass 5, he was taken out of the thumbnail litigation. He's taken out of this one. That'll be 4.
So that's
for
4.
Sure.
4 times now. He gets added to the wall for a 4th time. I got to find a new picture of him. It'll be great. But
That's
read
crazy.
this footnote is so packed full of lies. You guys are going to laugh.
At the time, there was an extended months-long grudge judge storyline targeting Levy County State Court Judge Craig DeThomas's, who was presiding in a restraining order action filed by Preston against the plaintiffs for stalking. What happened to that, by the way, Bruce? What happened to that? Huh?
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to pull it up. So you keep reading because I've got it.
Several of the YouTube channel hosts mocking DeThomas's, were calling him biased and incompetent, were practicing lawyers profiting from the story. Wait, I thought no lawyers were talking about this. This is crazy. One of the current close associates of the plaintiff was present during April 3rd hearing, having promoted the event, traveled with his fiance from Kentucky to cover it for his YouTube channel of 500,000 subscribers. DUI guy, and buckle up.
I think
so. That's another Larry sighting in the document.
Another Larry sighting. Let's see. Petition. So here's what happened. There was a petition for a writ of prohibition that was granted. Here it is, to remove Judge DeThomas's for all of his illegal, unlawful acts, his bias against Jeremy Hales, and it was granted. So for him to say, oh, whoops, wrong thing. For him to say this thing here, that this was, that here, several YouTube channels host mocking Judge DeThomas's and calling him biased and incompetent. Well, the appeals court, the Supreme Court, I think it was the Supreme Court of Florida, agreed, and they removed him.
Indeed.
You cannot make the argument that somehow these lawyers are doing something wrong by pointing out the obvious that the court also saw. And also, we know that he admits that he's biased against that. He knows he lost because he keeps recusing himself from these cases that keep coming up that involve Lynette Preston. He knows he can't stay on them.
Well, he 100%. He was removed. Like that's the one kicker out of anything. If he was removed, I wonder what that was. Are you telling me that the appeals court, they were biased in removing him, or what are you trying to say, Bruce?
Yeah, why doesn't he ever go further and say, and also actually he was removed, so there was a problem. Like, what? Why does he think he's going to get away with this? He's not going to get away with this. These are just lies. Okay, wait, where were we? Here, right here.
All such offers were ignored and led to the undersigned's emails to wait. Okay. Undersigned's email. I forgot what we were talking about. That's why I had to look. That's about him sending us emails. Ignored and led to the undersigned's emails to these. You going or?
Yeah, I moved it. You can't.
Actually, hey, take it off for a second. Take it off.
Oh, okay. Wait. All right.
There's email in there.
Oh, for crying out loud! Why does he do this?
Why? Because you know why he does it. You know exactly why.
I never want to hear. I never want to hear about him. I never want to hear about.
He put it.
He's going to actually talk about it in this filing.
Mm-hmm. He puts it in the freaking. I can't remember if it's the first or the second exhibit files. So,
all right, hold on. Let me look at the rest of this.
Yeah.
All right, we're good for this page.
Yeah. I'm just like, if we're going to be parked on the page for a minute, but yeah, it is fascinating that he throws fits about his stuff being put up there when in reality he
doesn't
he's
redact
doing that to other
anything.
people.
Yeah,
No.
he doesn't redact anything.
Well, of course not to Shara, right? Never for Shara, YouTube
and look at how he's using her. He knows she doesn't like this letter he made her write, and she's denounced it. And now he's going to reprint her letter, which we don't have to read. Don't read the letter because we've already read the letter, so we know what letter.
I'm just going for the
about.
sentence, and then it'll be you. Right?
Yeah,
isn't this? Yeah. By being the YouTube hosts being doxxed by them, mocking and attacking the undersigned for stepping in on behalf of the bad name. So he writes letters to us and we quote unquote dox his letters. That's not how doxing works.
That's not how it works.
We
didn't dox him. We read his letters. And if you send a letter to a journalist or a YouTuber, you must know off the bat that unless I've specifically told you, I will keep it confidential because you're sending me something that you've asked me to keep confidential, which he did not ask in any way. I don't have to. I'm going to probably read it, especially if it's funny and stupid.
This clown decided that he would make threats on behalf of Preston, and he wants me not to talk about his stuff any goodwill. See, I don't have, even if, you can hate something or whatever, I typically will never bring up anything you wrote to me. But when he starts making threats and more, fuck him. He's going to act in bad faith, and yet I'm supposed to act a certain way with him. No way.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. All right, where are we at? Right here.
Yeah, that's you.
It is? Okay. During this period, the undersigned was working with an independent journalist, Shara Michelle Wolf, who had been following the story and compiling records and documents since when the plaintiff began targeting Preston and Cook in May of 2023. On June 2, 2024, as part of the effort to find counsel for Preston and Cook for this action, at the undersigned's request, Ms. Wolf wrote a synopsis of the plaintiff's stalking use of YouTube in litigation to destroy the lives of Preston and Cook. Of course, he doesn't add that she has since asked him to stop using the letter, and she does not believe any of this anymore. So he puts the letter in there. And we've already read this letter.
I'm sure he's not going to include any of her deposition, is he?
Right. Yeah, he's not going to include the deposition where she talks about being forced to write this letter and how she was told that he was going to use it for other things and not what he used it for. He said he was going to use it to get lawyers, but then he sent it to press. This is a footnote. This came from a video on May 30th in which the plaintiff counted on his fingers the legal matters in which he had entangled the defendants. They're already in Ohio court. They're headed back to Ohio court for another contempt court hearing. They're in county court in Florida. They're in federal court. They're headed to family court in Florida because the whole adoption is being contested. And that's just the beginning of the tidal wave tsunami coming for them. Okay. You're up
What a
here.
clown. What a clown. What a clown. What a clown. No Florida council. Oh, wait, council, my bad. No Florida council can be found to represent the defendants, and so the undersigned chose to complete the steps for admission to Pro Hoc Vice with plans to file positive motions to try and have the case dismissed without trial. The undersigned believed and believes the claims are frivolous. The lawsuit is based on claims that were contrived for generating YouTube content to feed the bad neighbor YouTube saga, and that the case should be dismissed on summary judgment when the motion is filed as contemplated by court in Doc 81. My God. So he's talking about,
we have another
he's
footnote,
pushed.
too.
Well, I know he's pushing
Oh,
for
Jesus.
summary judgment in this document, even though this has nothing to do with this shit.
Look at the size of this monster footnote here. This is so crazy.
He's bringing up the trespass 5. The lawsuit that's come from that by Stephen and Therese Granger. He's bringing it to do with this.
It's crazy. All right, you're at this crazy ass long
What a
footnote.
nut, though. The extortion claim has already been dismissed, Doc 63, because the allegations were based on non-actionable statements falsely labeled extortion. He has no evidence of any actions by other defendants to tortiously interfere with any customer contract, as the court predicted, 63, footnote 5. They did not predict that. It said, you got to show some proof, otherwise you're going to have a problem. He has not disclosed lost income to connect defendants' alleged actions. We're still in discovery, asshole. Good God. We are in discovery still. Of course, he hasn't come off this yet. They are not and never were online posts calling me a child predator. Let's pull it up.
Let's get that. We have that ready to go, don't we?
Yes, we do.
By the way,
Give
chat,
me 1
don't get derailed by the troll. Just ignore the troll. And if the troll continues to stay off topic, well, you're being warned. You'll get banned. So stay on topic of what we're talking about, or you can go, because I'm not going to let you derail the chat. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it should be pretty simple to, stay on fucking topic, dude. It's not very hard. Okay, there was actually 2 of these, but the one everybody can straight up think of. And remember, there are videos with the same type of claims as well. There's a more recent one with John Cook making these types of claims, but everyone, I'm sure, remembers this. So, remember, I'm not a hooah, Jeremy. I'm not a hooah. I've never slept around. That's why I'm married so often. John is his own man. I don't know what Jeremy attacks me due to John's behavior when he knows the truth. So John's guilty. Okay, that's nice. Actually, I like that too. John is guilty. Again, we do not live in filth, aught a garbage dump. I do not and never beat my baby. Shame on you, Jeremy. And John is not a certain type of offender, PDF file, but I find it funny you hang out with men that are, and you yourself are disgusting toward children, mainly focusing on little girls' areas. So,
all right. So there's one of them for sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, she deleted an entire Facebook group, several of them, where some of these posts were. And we've already talked about how the jury can infer a negative inference from spoliation. If you delete evidence, the jury will be instructed that they can imagine it was bad.
There was this too. My princess is none of your damn concern. Why are you obsessed with her and her diapers and her potty habits, you damn perverted jerk? Again, you're obsessed with that. She cloth diapers and pull-ups and uses the thing called a potty chair. I bet his poor ex-wife did everything for her kiddos alone. So, again, you perverted, obsessed with. All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There's
Yep.
just that's
That's just
two
two.
again.
And but we know that entire Facebook pages that she was using at the time have been
Yeah,
deleted.
but hey, that's all it again. Signs are on top of that.
And it says
more.
right here, there are not and never were online
Mhm.
posts. We just found 2 of them. Okay. What's
Well,
the
he
next?
knows those exist. That's the kicker with that is he knows they exist. He's been shown, and he still continues to say this stuff.
Now you're at there is no evidence right
Oh yeah,
here.
there is no evidence of publication or handwritten signs other than the plaintiff himself publishing them on YouTube to promote the storyline.
Okay,
He didn't
that's
dis-
not true. Because
didn't-
we have
Well,
affidavits.
yes, and on top of that too, this next part we still aren't to discovery, so we haven't
Right,
even
we
gotten
don't
to
even have
expert
this yet.
witnesses. Yeah, he hasn't disclosed a traffic study expert, so yeah, he says he's getting one. I'm sure that's part of the plan for sure. You know.
Mm-hmm.
2 of the witnesses who discovered the signs stated publicly they could not read from the road, and the witness who collected the signs literally ran away to avoid service of a subpoena. That's actually not what happened. You just couldn't serve his ass. So
Did anybody get footage of him zipping away? Did Zim zip away? Or is it just that they weren't able to find him or didn't hire a process server to do it?
I wonder, did they hire somebody for real? You know, because
I don't think he
again,
did. He doesn't like to pay anybody to do anything.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm wondering. Did he actually pay somebody to do what he said?
Like the
'Cause,
sheriff? Don't you think the sheriff would be able to find the mayor very easily? Don't you think they probably hang out occasionally at,
I would think
events,
so.
town events and things? Like they know each other, I'm sure.
You would think so. I mean, you would think that would be one of like the easiest things to do to actually.
Well, I'm sure that the mayor and the sheriff of Otter Creek of Levy County have meetings together at some point
Right.
during the month. They have like a meeting, I'm sure, at some kind of, I don't know, but I'm sure that he's in communication with the sheriff. There's no way the sheriff can't serve him.
This is just some clown car shit, though. Because, I mean, he picks and chooses. And what does this have to do with anything? Again,
It doesn't.
this is about why didn't you show up? Well, this doesn't. This reminds me of the Trespass 5 case. You know? Like it's just shoehorn anything that you can into a file.
I'm sure the judge is going to love these very wordy
Oh my
footnotes.
God, dude. I wonder if he'll actually read these.
I don't think he will. I think he's going to stop on page 1 where it says, yes, you should sanction me. Because that's all this is about.
Well, he's trying the case here. And this is not what this is for. This is all about the case, you know?
Yep.
The plaintiff admitted in depo that none of the 3 believed the signs rebutting any damages for per se defamation. No, not rebutting any damages at all. Because again, who else saw the signs? Busy highway. No other statements attributable to defendant are remotely actionable by a public figure. Notably, 2 of the signed witnesses, Steva and Therese Granger, recently sued in state court, also represented by Attorney Shockett, 1 week after Preston voluntarily withdrew an action for invasion of privacy to record video of plaintiff YouTube storyline that Preston's child lives in danger and needs to be saved. That's actually not what happened at all. That is not. So what did the sign again? They decided to target 2 of the signed witnesses. That's what happened. I mean, if we want to bring them into that, if you want to bring it in like that. Oh, what a weirdo, man.
A total
God.
weirdo.
What a footnote, too. All right.
Oh,
so
so
that's
crazy.
That's that footnote.
Oh my God. We were right here then.
Okay. Since then, the undersigned and his wife's life have been turned upside down. It's back to him again. And plaintiff, his YouTube surrogates and social media followers harassing and defaming them, along with plaintiff's counsel abuse of litigation to create YouTube content. Now, he brings up his sanctioned stuff. they're being refiled together, so he never filed them in a timely manner. So
Oh, Lord.
4, 5, 14, 16, and 117 show some of the ways he has multiplied proceedings and vexed the undersigned with constant threats of sanctions, false accusations, and contrived motions, i.e., 96, 85, 86, 76, 77. 96, that's fascinating. Huh. That
The judge didn't think it was contrived.
well, not just that. 96, he's not supposed to be fucking arguing 96 here. And I thought he said that he wasn't going to argue it. And yet here
This
we
is
are.
crazy.
It is. Like that's what we just had a hearing over. If
Oh,
he wanted to
God.
argue this stuff, he should have been in the courtroom arguing it, because that was motion for sanction, including judicial default. That's what it was about. So for him to bring this up, it is so out of line. And like I said, that judge should sanction the shit out of him for this, because that is that again, he admits I should be. There's no excuses. This is an excuse right here. That he's talking about that. And he's saying that Randy should have actually been sanctioned for the thing. Again, if you wanted to argue that, you should have been there. Which serves the dual aim of consuming time and generating litigation-related content for plaintiff and other YouTube channels profiting from storylines.
Ugh. Okay. Let's see. This is just the same crap over and over again. Now this is where it gets really weird. The plaintiff stalked the undersigned's wife, resulting in her resigning from a job, and mocked the death, this is a full-on lie, of his children's biological father. And he proves that it's a lie by actually quoting Jeremy's actual quote. Because I was wondering, I was like, are we?
Yeah. What came up in that? You know.
Are we? Yeah, I remember what Jeremy said about this, and I remember him saying that he had real compassion for those children, and he's so sorry to hear they lost their father. And I'm like, is he going to quote that? And then he did. So he's proving in his own filing that he didn't say this. On April 2, the plaintiff posted a live video targeting the undersigned's wife, including stating that he is in communications with her teaching employer and mocking the undersigned's children about the death of their biological father. Does this sound remotely like anything Jeremy would do? No. During a work trip in 2015, and now having the undersigned as their father. Number 10. No, he was mocking you, Bruce. Okay, 10 is a link I'm not going to click because it would definitely be the risky click of the day.
Yep.
The undersigned also has family obligations, couldn't be gone for 3 days. There is no possible way to make all necessary arrangements for his family's members' needs to be covered in his extended absence. The undersigned's wife, let's just be clear. Did he say the undersigned's wife? Would Jeremy say the undersigned's wife? Oh, he was reading the document. That's why. Okay. Let's just be clear. Somebody married him? Maybe. Okay, maybe. But probably not for very long. Okay, that's a joke about Bruce. That's not about his kids. After he's gotten himself into this situation, I mean, this is just mind-blowing. The undersigned's wife has a rotor cuff tear, which she requires the undersigned's assistance with many daily activities. That's interesting since she's a yoga instructor and we actually have her schedule, which I imagine was available online, by the way. Whoa, you mean now she's teaching yoga with a torn rotator cuff, but is Deuce there teaching yoga for her? Interesting.
Yeah, because he said he has to go in and do her work for her. So
right. As a matter of fact, we know her employer. That's all. Yeah, there's communications with her teaching employer as well. He then goes on to say the undersigned's children's late biological father passed away on a work trip in 2015 when they were 5 and 11 years old. Oh, let's start the sympathy. By the way, I want to be very clear. If this is true of these children, my sympathies to you. I'm very sorry for your loss, and I'm very sorry for the lack of a man that is filled in for your actual father, and I'm sure you're sorry about it as well. That is not mocking children for losing their father. It's mocking Bruce. And
he's supposed to wait. So he's supposed to have sympathy for these people after they drug his kid into
remember
interviews and shit.
Yeah, remember that? Remember when they went after Jeremy's kid? Like, really?
Uh-huh.
Like, why is it that Jeremy is expected to act in a way that they can't act themselves? He's
That's how
supposed
it
to be
always goes. See, but there
better.
was no. See, these are traps because Bruce is going to play victim no matter what happens. It doesn't matter what somebody says. It doesn't matter if somebody is like, totally, I don't even like for me when I run across that, I'm like, hey, I don't even want to talk about that. Like, if that's true, it's horrible. There. Oh, well, you talked about it though. Oh man, you're mocking them. See, there's always a way to play it. Always.
All right, mods. I can see that the troll is still bothering the chat. So get out the ban hammer the next time it happens, okay? Because I'm tired of that. Let's get the chat back on track, please. There's always going to be people criticizing. It's fine, but don't let them derail the chat. We've had enough. Now it says, by the way, I want to be very clear. We got that. The undersigned adopted them after marrying their mother, which I was just telling George. I was like, I knew no woman would ever have a child with him, not even his. Okay, any extended work trip taking their father away from him creates anxiety. That's odd. So he files, and now he's worried about anxiety, which, by the way, in 2015, they were 11 and 5. Okay, so we're in 2025. Now they are 21 and 15. I'm pretty sure the 21-year-old can figure this out. This is sick. This is a sick, horrific use and abuse of his own children in the court system on this sick footnote. I agree with that. I think that it's really terrible.
Yeah, he threw him into a filing to use them as a way not to go in and talk about the things that he did.
And then what he did, the reason he's diabolical. The reason he put it in there is because he knew Jeremy would comment on it, and then he could turn around and say, he's mocking my children and their dead father. Do you see? You see what he does? In the closing seconds are shown 5 photographs of the undersigned's wife that she posted publicly, I'm sure, on Facebook. This was just the latest but most outrageous instance of the plaintiff talking publicly about the undersigned's wife and children. Bruce, you have talked publicly about Jeremy's wife and children, his ex-wife and children. You have sat on a live stream for 5 hours with people who have accused Jeremy of domestic violence against his ex-wife and children. You have sat there and supported a channel that constantly accuses him of mistreating and accuses him of having these secret arrest records about his divorce and all sorts of stuff. And you have the nerve to say that, so what's good for the goose is not good for the gander? What's good for the goose is not good for the Bruce? Is that right?
Like I said, crazy. Bruce was okay in bringing in people like Paint Chips, and look what they did. It's okay. He'll be tagged into emails with these people doing some jacked up shit, aiming at people's families and more. He's all good with that, but
it's insane.
If it's somebody else, if it remotely attaches to him,
this is so crazy. To retaliate for the undersigned being counsel for Preston Cook. All right, Tug, you're here.
It's pure harassment and cyber stalking intended to retaliate, blah, 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 blah. Being alerted to this video and viewing, it was so upsetting to the undersigned's wife that she emailed her teaching employer resigning without advance notice. Yes, actually, she... and here's the letter, by the way. He included
there's
this.
A letter?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's in the... I figure we'll keep the exhibits normally, but here's that exhibit.
Let's put that here up.
So here it is.
Oh,
so you notice he redacts her stuff, though. Isn't that fascinating, Bruce? How you redact hers? Yeah,
you redact all of her information, but not Shara's. Yeah. That's interesting.
He rejects all the player names and everything. But
that's interesting, but not Shara. Okay.
Hey, not the people that are attached to hearings that he's involved in. Here's their LinkedIns and more. Okay.
This is really a strange resignation letter. Yeah. Wow. This is really strange.
I am very sorry, but this is my resignation. I will not be able to teach tomorrow or any further. I sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. I'm not open to discussion over this and ask that you respect my wishes. I have personal reasons for this, which are not anything I wish to discuss or disclose. I appreciate all of the experience I have had with RSM. Thank you, her name. And then she's contacted and said, thank you for letting me know. I wish you the best. Principal redacted.
Okay, the date of this is interesting. It's on April
The
3rd,
Mhm.
before the hearing. And also, I would like to also point out that she was not fired. She cannot claim that if she willingly resigned from a job, that was somehow Jeremy Hale's fault. How do you even come up with that? How do you come up? And also, I mean, if this was a job you wanted, would you really not discuss it with them? Like, wouldn't you just say, hey, listen, my husband's involved in this thing, and you might get some weird emails or whatever, but why would she resign her job? Are they running to Armenia? Like, what?
April the 3rd. I'm just looking at something.
Wait,
real
has
quick.
Jeremy posted by this time? Or I guess, though, even if he hadn't posted the video, they're going to claim that before he posted that video, he contacted her employee or whatever, employer.
Yeah,
By the
that's
way,
what I was
though,
gonna look.
speaking of contacting people's employers,
Yeah, speaking of that, right?
I think we have something to show you regarding that.
Yes, indeed. Oh, man.
Speaking of contacting people's employers and trying to get them fired.
Let's see. Yeah, so let's look back at something. Let's go back to visit Kate. Oh, Kate. Bruce, I think, remembers Kate. If not, there's Bruce bringing this up as this starts out again. He's like, Kate, in case you're not aware, this post, there's a post about Northport, a campaign of cyber talking and harassment, people, YouTube content, what the hell's Megan Fox, Umbrella Guy, and others. You're assisting this. You work in law, and you should know better. Already doxed at her job, too. And she's like, I have difficulty understanding how this post or comment I made is relevant to where I work, or why you felt the need to contact my employer in writing, saying that an employee assisting YouTube channel digging up dirt on private individuals, specifically those targeting What the Hell's channel for bad name content storyline. You also stated that this is an extremely serious matter that is being followed by tens of thousands of fans on YouTube. So then she goes on to talk about that again, talking about being a legal professional and on, but she made it very clear. She not only brought it up once, but she brought it up
And by the way,
twice.
I spoke with her, and something else that she told me about that situation was that she was on a cruise at the time, on a vacation when this happened. And she got a call from her boss during her vacation that sent her into a panic because she had no idea this man was doing this. And she had to do like damage control while she was on. He ruined her entire vacation.
Huh. So she had to go into damage control about that. That's not surprising.
Like her boss was not happy to get this message from him.
Well,
and she had to explain.
She notes this to Marla Mae Hughes, too. I'm not an acquaintance of Jeremy Hale's or supporters, nor do I have any knowledge of who they are, and definitely I do not have any interest in doing so. My awareness is limited to the post regarding two individuals who previously resided in Northport. However, my employer was recently contacted by this individual claiming to be an attorney who made unfounded allegations to my employer. In my opinion, his actions appear to be an attempt to undermine my financial stability, hinder my ability to earn a living, and or restrict my freedom to share any relevant information I may possess regarding the individuals in question. What this individual fails to understand is that I will not be directed or controlled in terms of what I share, who I communicate with, what I say, unless compelled by legally binding court order. I also find it highly unethical and unprofessional for him to have contacted my employer in this matter. If this is a tactic he is employed or is using to intimidate others, including potential witnesses, into silence or to prevent the sharing of information, I believe it is a matter that warrants the attention of the bar. His action should be thoroughly investigated to ensure accountability and to protect the public from such behavior. Fascinating.
So yet again, everything they accuse Jeremy of doing is a thing they are doing themselves. Contacting employers is not off limits when it's BBB doing it to people who are investigating his clients or people who criticize his clients. It's not off the table for them. He has contacted multiple people's. He has contacted all of anyone he can find that I've ever worked with. I believe he's contacted my employer, but they were smart enough not to say anything to me because I gave them a heads up. I know he talked about contacting my employer. I just haven't asked if he actually sent something. He has contacted all of my colleagues, that anyone that he can find online I've ever talked to, that I've ever been on a stream with. He has sent letters to Dave Neal. He sent letters to Omar. He sent letters to obviously Michael, Volmit.
Darth Touch.
He sent letters to him and actually found one to turn. He has been stalking me and everyone I know, which is completely inappropriate. And he now has the nerve to complain that somebody got the schedule, her yoga schedule, which is probably online. Like, come on. And then complain that she chose to resign over it. That doesn't make any sense. None. All right. We were here, right?
Yeah. Later, no, we were right here. Later that day, we're at the past exhibit
down here. Okay, gotcha.
Later that day, she made a report to the Massachusetts police.
Note to self, FOIA that report.
The plaintiff's attacks against the undersigned using his YouTube platform have been relentless and have affected his entire life and practice outside this litigation. See Exhibit 5. Some of the video thumbnails depicting him and attacking the undersigned. By design of the plaintiff and his counsel, this case has consumed the undersigned's time and life. Who got involved in this case? Shoehorned themselves into it. It has prevented him from being able to maintain his regular income generating law practice. So he doesn't have any clients then. If he's not able to maintain his practice, doesn't that mean by default? Yeah. Like
and
he's
why is this turned into all about Bruce and his problems? Why has this turned into that? This is supposed to be about why he didn't show up, not about everything he's ever had a problem with. Not
about him litigating this case and talking about, this is going to be more interesting as you get to the end. It gets really weird. It gets really weird in this too. Oh my goodness. It has taken a disproportionate amount of time from his family. How many again, he mentioned 5 separate sanction filings by itself he filed. How many times has he filed garbage? Now, it has caused the undersigned's wife to leave her teaching job. Other YouTube. Oh, yeah, us. This is all. Oh, man. There's like.
Here we go.
It's a thumbnail barrage, is what it is. This is where his other YouTube channels profiting from the content generating by plaintiff's storyline, joining and attacking the undersigned and the defendants. For example, a YouTube associate of the plaintiff purposely sabotaged the undersigned's AVO. I don't know.
Yeah,
rating.
it's a lawyer site.
And then openly bragged about it on social media.
He didn't sabotage it. He left a review about what this guy actually did.
Yeah.
Everything DJ Radis said he did.
Yeah,
to him.
I saw that. I actually saw that one.
And here's exhibit. So now it's number 12 right here.
So that would be DJ Radis.
Oh wait, we missed footnote 11.
Oh, my bad.
Read this
God,
one.
there's so many footnotes,
this
man.
This one is so funny. This is so funny. And if he really believed this, then he wouldn't have said a damn word about his wife or anything else in any of his filings.
The undersigned and his wife will be further mocked for this by the plaintiff and other YouTube channels profiting from his content. Actually, we're profiting from your content, dipshit. And
your dumbass things that you file in court. And if you would like that to stop, you should stop filing dumbass things. Start filing boring things like normal lawyers that makes it difficult and uninteresting to read. That will solve your problem.
AKA Helm's lawyer. You know, his
Oh, yeah,
stuff
we
is
haven't even looked at it because it's like boring.
it's basic. It's just basic stuff. He is in the beginning. He's asking for more time for something. It's
And
not.
he wants clarification on what
Yeah.
it makes sense. It's like a normal filing.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to mock that. You know why? Because it's a normal professional filing. Bruce, if you could do that, nobody would be able to make any money on your content because no one would tune in to hear it. But you keep putting ridiculous things in here like this. The undersigned and his wife are going to be mocked on YouTube. Oh no, the internet is mean. What are you new?
Well, there's DJ Radis, a non-U.S. citizen, migrated to Levy County in the fall of 2024, specifically to insulate himself into the events here, and has shown up in locations to stalk Preston Cook, Preston Child, to create video content for YouTube. His YouTube channel, DJ Radis, consists parody songs about the defendant, the undersigned, and a daily Dear Diary series using Preston's AI-generated voice to mock and humiliate her for profit.
None of those things are illegal. None, not even one.
Again, he fails to list how there was litigation and that guy was attached to it, and they all dropped it. So,
yeah, and the review that he left on Avo was 100% accurate to how Bruce behaved, and all DJ Radis did was tell his story. This man, this lawyer, sued me for something that was completely garbage, and then dropped it. Yeah, the internet hurt my feelings.
You are not a nice person.
A number of other channels focus their content largely and some exclusively on the plaintiff's bad neighbor storyline and related litigation generated content. See Exhibit 8. Is that the one that we're in? Is that where our close-up is?
I was
Exhibit 8.
I was looking at some of the thumbnails. I got distracted. Give me a second.
All right. Now we have look at this long, whiny footnote. One of the most enduring and popular content sources for the plaintiff, and especially other channels profiting from his litigation-related content, was Attorney Shockett's Zoom deposition of Preston in January 2024, which I still haven't finished, by the way, exploiting Preston's Levy County State Court action for a restraining order against the plaintiff for stalking while she was pro se. Attorney Shockett took a 7-hour videotape deposition of Preston remotely, with Preston at home attempting to monitor her child while being harangued and harassed by Attorney Shockett throughout. This was him harassing her.
You are not a nice person. My child just fell down. I have anxiety over the roof.
It doesn't sound like she was the one being harassed.
Hey,
Sounds
by
like
the way,
Andy was.
Check this out. So here's that DJ Radis you were talking about, the review. This is it right here. So I mean, you can see like
wait,
again.
I can't see it. It's so small. Here, let's.
Yeah, I'm
see
gonna blow it up here. So you can actually see the fraudulent attorney.
Dad!
Oh my goodness, are you home? Yeah. So there, 1 second, kiddo. Oh well, here. Hey, come here. Give me a hug. Give me my hug.
What was the stuff that you talked about on the phone?
Well, I'll show you in a little bit. You go rest for a little bit, and then I'll show you. We got some packages today, and I'll show it all to you in a little bit. I got to photograph it all too before I give it to you.
The photograph. I want to see photographs.
Well, I haven't done it yet. Hey, go upstairs and get settled in, and then I'll show it to you in a little bit. Okay. Okay.
I'm not peeking. I just look at.
Not peeking, huh? You're just looking at the boxes. I got you.
Yeah, just look at the boxes.
Okay. All right. Well, here, I'm going to blow that up so you can see it, so you can hear it. Here's the statement, right there.
This attorney contacted me while he represented his client. Bruce attempted to blackmail me for money. If I paid him money, he'd not sue me. I told him where to go. After several months, him and his client dropped the case. He is now suffering a counterclaim. Tell me how that's false.
Oh, it's 100% true.
It's 100% true. And he's allowed to review an attorney who sued him.
Well, and he says, he attempted to blackmail me for money. If I paid him money, he'd not sue me. So I told him where to go. It was like, oh, after several months, he drops a case. We saw that happen, and then
Yep.
now he's getting a counterclaim. So he's like, oh my God, how dare
I think
they?
I think I should leave a review too, because I've had an experience with this attorney too. And I can write a true statement about my experience with him too. This attorney harassed me multiple times over email when I asked him to stop. This attorney threatened to sue me for no good reason whatsoever. I should leave one.
This attorney believes that recruiting a disbarred lawyer to do awful shit, including accuse you of terrible things like being an anti-Semite, going after family members and more is somehow acceptable. You know, and despite warning this person of who they are, he decided to sick them on me again. Huh. That sounds about right.
This has all been in retaliation for standing up for defenseless, involuntary litigants being targeted by a disturbed individual with a lot of money. That's weird, because I think Paint Chips is the disturbed individual. With a lot of money and a lawyer willing to abuse litigation to feed his client's YouTube content. Gee, that sounds just like Bruce.
Yeah,
a lawyer
that is
willing to abuse
feeding
litigation to feed his client's YouTube content. Yeah.
Yeah, how much money has this client made by now again?
Over 56,000. A lot. A ton more than that, and who is bent on destroying their lives for the entertainment of his YouTube followers and for his own profit. Sounds familiar. The undersigned, this is also one of my favorite parts of this. The undersigned's withdrawal can be postponed pending summary judgment. So he files to withdraw. Now he says, wait. We can postpone it, and then you can kick me off after summary judgment. What? Yeah.
He's telling the judge, though, hey, judge, I hope you enjoy that, by the way. He's telling you how that should be. Oh, well, you know, actually don't need to get rid of me until after summary judgment, which, you know, I'm sure we'll get. Okay.
Just Jay, I saw you in the chat just now. Can you, the chat's moving so fast, I lost you. I was going to give you a wrench so no one can impersonate you. Don't do any mod things, but I'll give you a wrench. Type something. Hurry up so I can do it before I lose you again. Oh God. There he is. Chat, slow down for a second. Okay, there we go.
Never slow, chat.
All right, see if it worked. Yep, it worked. Okay, cool. All right. The undersigned and the defendants request that the court postpone issuing an order in response to the withdrawal of counsel until after the outcome of a to-be-filed motion for summary judgment, which is weird because the judge said we don't want anything turned in for 30 days.
Yeah. He's talking about more documents. That's crazy.
More documents that the judge said he doesn't want.
This is about sanction, though. This is about sanctions, and, you know, we're still talking about he may not still be on this because of the removal of pro se, which, again, should happen since he did not show up. You should consider that the worst case scenario.
Yeah, this is bizarre. All of the undersigned's litigation work was in preparation for a summary judgment motion on any claims not dismissed under FRCP 12B, with discovery complete and the ability of the plaintiff and his counsel to abuse discovery and depositions cut off. The undersigned can focus on the defendant's summary judgment motion.
When was discovery complete? It's actually not been completed. It was frozen before discovery deadlines. They didn't turn over half the shit they were supposed to. I'm sure there would be a filing about that.
This is crazy. The undersigned can focus on the defendant's summary judgment motion and looks forward to filing it. Well, the judge does not look forward to reading it. I can tell you that right now. The judge doesn't want to read anything from this guy or anybody in this case right now. He's mad at everybody. All right. Yeah. We are almost there. I don't think we can finish this.
Oh, I need a break.
We're over to, yeah, I do too.
I'm sorry, but I need a break from it, folks.
Oh,
are you all okay with that? Because this is like pulling freaking teeth. And I mean, we've got all the exhibits with it still.
I know we haven't gone through the exhibits.
Tomorrow,
we're gonna have to do part 2 tomorrow because I'm getting a neck ache. I've been sitting here too long.
I'm just like, oh my God, if I read much more of this, I'm gonna break something.
All right, we need a break, and here's what we're gonna do. We're almost at 100 super chats. I'm sure we're gonna hit it, and even if we don't, you guys have earned it tonight. So I am going to play what I promised, I'm going to play the song that I wrote of Bruce, the mac and cheese scandal. And I wrote this song. It is his letter. I only wrote the chorus to go with the letter, but everything else in it is verbatim what he wrote to me. And it's so funny. It's going in the musical. And
Rusty Shackelford's like, keep going.
I can't. My neck is starting to hurt, which means I've got to get up.
I was
and
messing with it. Yeah,
I can't do it, Rusty.
Rusty's messing with us. Yeah.
But I am going to play that right now. And then when we come back, we'll do super chats. And Tug, if you have to go, definitely go ahead. But you should stick around for the song because it's really
I want to
funny.
hear the song for that.
And I don't think you've heard it yet. I have not showed this to you. So let me share this. All right. You guys are going to like this. Share on screen. And I will try to pull in on the lyrics so you can read along. How's this? There, like this. Can you read that?
Give me a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Miss Fox.
I've been catching up on the What the Hale saga. As a 27-year lawyer, I have some thoughts if you're interested. I also have some questions that I'd love to ask if you're willing to understand the origins of the Hale's Linnet War and how you came to write about it on PJ Media. I have myself filed complaints against judges in the past and written a lot of op-eds.
New Haven Register, Connecticut Law Tribune. Easy to find with Google search of my name.
It's a mac and cheese scandal with all the corruption you can handle. You'll love this tale of sorrow. Have me on the show tomorrow.
Oh God, I love this song.
Easy to find with Google search of my name.
It's a mac and cheese scandal with all the corruption you can handle. You'll love this tale of sorrow. Have me on the show tomorrow. I have a story of a Connecticut judge who allowed two lawyers to engage in open conflict. And when the conflict was reported in a bar complaint, it was whitewashed to protect the lawyers and judge. It's a mac and cheese scandal with all the corruption you can handle. You'll love this tale of sorrow. Have me on the show tomorrow. It was all part of a scheme to steal a macaroni and cheese restaurant LLC and the market created by his founder.
Very entertaining stuff, I assure you.
Here's a link to a short op-ed, discusses the conflict and cover-up in the context of comparing that to a current, ongoing disciplinary proceeding against me to show the dichotomy of cover-up, conjure up in the lawyer disciplinary process in Connecticut. For powerful lawyers and judges, misconduct is covered up. For powerless solo lawyers, misconduct is conjured up so they can make their numbers.
If interested, I have a much more detailed written article about the conflict. Cover-up, which I can share with you. It has not been published yet. Every fact I state in the op-ed and the longer piece is documented in court transcripts and filings.
It's a mac and cheese scandal with all the corruption
Yeah.
you can handle. You'll love this tale of sorrow. Have me on the show tomorrow.
Can you tell why I threw it in the garbage immediately? It's crazy.
Yeah, easy to find with Google search of my name.
Once this story is reported, get picked up, it has legs. It just needs to get busted out by an appropriate source, such as yourself. The judge's conduct can and should result in serious consequences, especially given that it was not known when she was confirmed to the federal bench. If it were, she likely would not have won confirmation. It's a mac and cheese scandal with all the corruption you can handle. You'll love this tale of sorrow. Have me on the show tomorrow.
Thanks. Please let me know if you'd like to speak. Bruce Maskin, Eskew.
SQ.
Excuse, maybe.
So now you know what kind of craziness was sent in my inbox and why I ignored it, because it's so dumb. All right, I'm going to hit super chats. You probably have to go. I'm sure you've got the
Yeah,
girls.
I'm gonna go see what the little one is into. She
Thank you for hanging out
she just got
so
here. Well, we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up tomorrow, folks. I
Yes,
appreciate
we will.
y'all. All right, see ya.
All right, good night, Tug. All right, Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Hey, Megan and Tug, just another crazy document day. I know, it never ends. Ellie Fan, thanks for the 5. Let's celebrate. Sean Poe is 6 months cancer-free. That's awesome. Here's some celebration music. I know we have some here somewhere. There we go. Celebrate cancer-free. That's awesome. I love it. Congratulations, Sean. All right, let's see. We have Elephant again. Oh, correction, 4 years cancer-free. Well, that's even better. Carol Anderson, member for 5 months. It has been a blast being here with the laughter and the snarkiness. Well, you know, everybody has to laugh, especially with this stuff that is just so nuts. What else can we do? Slug Entertainment, thanks for the 2. This sounds like the cringe dare anti-drug raps. Which one? The first one? Yeah, that was way early in the show. You must have meant the opening. I love that one. I think it's good. Little B, thanks for the $2 super sticker. Appreciate you. And Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Don't forget to Thomas removed himself again. Yep, we got to that for sure. He's going to have to go on the wall soon. Rogue Mama, member for 10 months. Please, Night, just J Hip. And I finally remembered to do it all on my own. Aren't you proud of me? Man Bear Pig, thanks for the 5. Feed that poopy lady's voice into AI and make a song. We might actually get the server to delete itself. Oh gosh. Little B, thanks for the 2. The flu A is bad. God bless you and your family. I don't know, whatever this last bug is that went around, it's just been so awful for everyone. So anybody out there who has it, I just... so sorry. Susan Way, thanks for the 5. Unsworn, unsubstantiated, and unnecessary. Yep. Yep. Paula Broadworth, thanks for the 5. Oh, wait. When you said unsworn, did he not sign this under penalty of perjury? Hold on. Certification? Huh. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Okay, I'll find out. Paula Broadworth, thanks for the 5. Megan, unrelated, you should watch Nancy Joe testify in Lori Vallow case. It was great. She told Lori not to flatter herself. Lori even cut her off. Oh, shoot. You mean I missed an actually good testimony in the Vallow case? Well, thank you for telling me, Paula. Maybe we'll go over it tomorrow if I don't have anything going on during the day. That might be fun. Because all those cops and firemen and stuff were just super boring. Stacy R., member for 6 months. So if the judge sends feds after BBB and he has skipped the country for Armenia, do the feds go there to get his rat ass? No, but they would notify Interpol probably, but it's not like Interpol would go look for him. It would just be like if he tried to get on a plane to come back here, he would get picked up. I have my favorites. Tammy's cuz, thanks for the 2. Prayers for Hippie Witch. She had surgery today. Oh, definitely. I hope Hippie Witch is doing well after that. Cindy Brown, member for 3 months. Larry and Chandler are engaged officially? Nope. Larry says they are not. Tracy Wilden gifted 5 Megan Fox memberships. Welcome to the Fox Den, all 5 of you. It's weird here, and we get sick a lot, but it's also funny. Just J Hip, thanks for the 5. Feared for his safety. And I am the coward for not going on the 2 flea bags with Dick Lickman and Volmet. Ugh. Dan Davis, thanks for the 2. Doreen is up for a judgeship. I know. Isn't that cool? Jack's mom, thanks for the 2. He probably wants Ecosystem to reimburse that. Probably. Cunning Linguist, thanks for the 2. And the square bullet points. Just because. Blame Tug. Patrick W., thanks for the 2. Hey, Mom, I'm engaged by court order. That was so funny. Dan Davis, thanks for the 2. Lynette is ordained. That is true. Jay Hip, thanks for the 5. Volmet and Lickman are great security. Being surrounded by them leads to obscurity. You will be completely ignored. Yep. A very astute observation, Jay. Mad Dog 86, thanks for the 5. Tug, officiating in an umbrella mask at the courthouse. Let's do this. LOL. I agree. I think this needs to happen. Rhea Norman, thanks for the 2. Hey, Larry Muzzletop. Allie S., thanks for the 5. He's already a ring twitcher. Might as well make him the ring bearer. That's funny. And John Baker, thanks for the 2. BBB got his LOLYER license from a Cracker Jack. Yep, probably. Darlene Probus, thanks for the 2. Bride in white and Tug in red and white. Mask. Yep. Ron Barnard, thanks for the 2. Lynette, only if she uses the straw. Cap Buchanan, thanks for the 10. They are engaged to be engaged to be engaged. I'm just waiting for news of incoming. Is that Chuppa? Yes. Lori Netzel, thanks for the 10. Pole dance ceremony, LOL. Terry Halliday, thanks for the 2. Lynette would charge $65,000. Hey, we just hit 100 super chats, so we did hit the goal. Thanks, guys. Nordgy44, thanks for the 5. Don't jinx the relationship with the ring bearer Tug, LOL. Mama Bear Lee, thanks for the Canadian 20. About the puppet sticks. First hearing, they weren't allowed video with Grudge. J&G made a puppet theater with all their faces. No, that wasn't Grudge. That was the Ohio courtroom. They only had audio for that on popsicle sticks, and they put on a puppet show while reading, and it was so funny. It really was. It was great. That's why we're going to go over it again. Shifter Brains, thanks for the 2. He hired Crook to be his security. Paid too much. Do you think he did? But he wasn't, I don't think he was there. Nobody reported that they saw him there. Elephant, thanks for the 2. Hashtag Tugs Tits, Tugs Jugs. Hashtag. Candace, thanks for the 10. Picture Tortoise on a skateboard. Lynette walking behind, bent over, of course, no discs, blowing the skateboard and Tortoise along through a very hefty straw. Oh no. Jesse, thanks for the 5. BBB's argument is equivalent to a teenager arguing, "You just don't understand my life." Yes. Yes. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. I think they are voluntary defendants. They were told to stop or get sued, and they opted to get sued. They did indeed. I would call that voluntary. The Melrose 1970, thanks for the 2. Say YouTube one more time, mother effer.
Hey, Rule 26 one more time, motherfucker.
Dan Davis, thanks for the 5. Dear Judge, I put my place in my client's shoes. I had my toilet removed and a blue bucket put in its place. BBB. Vernon Fisher became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den. I appreciate your membership, Vernon. I think you'll get used to it here. Joyce Byrne, thanks for the 5. Breadstick money just to piss off Brucey at all. Boy, I'm tripping over my words now. Teresa, Minnesota, thanks for the 10. The timer for Thunderdome is 15 minutes. Jack Miles, thanks for the 2. Ducey derailed us. Enough with this what the hell says crap. I know. Vernon Fisher, thanks to the 5. 50 people should follow Bruce around with a camera. Cameras everywhere, out to eat, home, work, everywhere, and then post nothing about him. I do not endorse this idea. I would not want anyone to follow anyone around. Again, public service announcement, do not contact anyone that we talk about. Do not take photographs of them or videotape them. But it was a funny dream scenario. Emma Washington, thanks for the Aussie too. Careful, Bruce, your jealousy is showing. Sassy Mama C, thanks for the 5. The toxic fumes from that place would create a huge bomb that would explode and become a biohazard. It would be tragic. I like the emojis. Lots of emojis. Michelle Lara, thanks for the 2. I volunteer as tribute to be sued. LOL. Skipper, Veteran Nation, how you doing? Thanks for the 2. He begged to come on my show. Hey, do I have that email, Skipper? If I don't, would you send it to me? I would love to add it to my giant file of all the evidence this man has wanted this on YouTube. Mama Bear Lee, thanks for the Canadian 5. Lynette said the judge hasn't seen out evidence. Tell your longer hand in discovery, moron. I don't know. Irrational diversions, thanks to the 5. File an amicus brief. Explain how he begged you all to cover the case. I don't know if, what I don't want to do, first of all, it's not that we couldn't do that. Like we could, I guess. But here's the thing, guys. You got to read the room. And this judge is completely fed up with this case. He does not want any more filings. And I, for one, don't want to have anything to do with creating more work for his legal assistant or the clerk or anyone around that judge, including the judge himself, because that will make him angry. And right now, everybody involved in this case ought to be trying not to make the judge angry. And I also don't want to insert myself into this case because I am not a party to it. I am not. And I don't want to be. While I could, that's definitely a no for me. Taz, thanks for the 5. We need Dog the Bounty Hunter. BBB would definitely go to Florida. That's funny. Lori Netzel, thanks for the 50. Says, okay, here you go. Thank you so much, Lori. It's very sweet of you. Ellie Fant, thanks for the 99-cent super sticker. Appreciate you, Ellie. You're so funny, and I love having you in chat. Joanne C. JoJo's Adventures, thanks for the 50. Thank you. It says, there you go. I appreciate you. That's super generous. I love all of you people. You're so sweet. Chris W., thanks for the New Zealand 5. Breadstick money, so the haters get mad. Jody Who, thanks for the 2. Sorry, too broke for more. That's okay. Never send me your ramen money. Only your Starbucks money, because we can all do without Starbucks. But we cannot do without, our grocery bills and whatnot. And if you can't afford to send anything, don't do it. Because here's the great thing about YouTube. Here's what I love about it. Those of you who cannot afford to send super chats and support the show that way, you support it with your views and clicking the like button and the subscribe. And the people who can't afford to send tips, well, they keep the whole thing going for everybody else to get free content. And it's a really good system because it's all voluntary. You absolutely never have to send a super chat to be a welcome member of this chat and this stream. And we never want you to feel like you're not appreciated if you cannot send a super chat, because you are appreciated. And your watch and your view and your like and your subscribe means a whole lot. Oh, and you know what? I might actually be able to gift memberships tonight. Ooh, hold on. Let me see. Because I think it's a new month. And I haven't gifted memberships. Where is it? God, I always forget how to do this. Oh, it's right. I can't do it in the studio. I have to go to the stream where you guys are. I always look in the YouTube studio. So that reminds me. Thank you for sending that chat and reminding me of all the people who are here and would love to be a member, but maybe can't afford it. Now, I can't choose who gets to have these memberships, but because it's random, it randomly selects them. But I can gift, I think, 10 memberships. So let me do it right now. And if you are here in the chat, you might get selected to get one. So let me see. There it is. Membership gifting. There we go. You ready, guys? Get ready. Here it comes. Boom. 5 of you should have gotten gifted memberships. And I shall give 5 more. You ready? There you go. So hopefully some of you who wanted to join or who wanted to support the channel have now been gifted memberships. There you go. All right. I love that feature. You guys remind me next month that I can do that again. Janice Wingfield, thanks for the 10. I can't wait to see your musical. Deuce Foreskin is a joke of an attorney. That is the way it appears to me and a bunch of other people. By the way, congratulations, Cynthia Irvin, Pink Sparkle Racing, Rick Reed, Mrs. Adventure, Ozzy Alley. Who else got them? Leona McDonald, welcome to the Fox Den. All of you. Deborah Mellinger, welcome to the Fox Den. And Magic Angle 0302 also gifted a membership. Welcome, everyone. Okay, now let's get back over here. Rosilla's Realm, thanks for the 2. Looks like Pro Hack Total Loser has been taken. Very funny. Dana Johnson, thanks for the 25. I appreciate you, Dana. Super generous. Kathy D, thanks for the 50. Wow, you guys are killing it tonight. Thank you so much. So generous. Rob Pate, thanks for the 10. This filing is so ridiculous that Georgie, earlier on her show with Coop, had to take about 5 minutes off air for an out-of-control laughing break. It's really bad, and I don't think the judge is going to like it. The judge asked for a simple motion for why he shouldn't be sanctioned, and Bruce was like, well, I should be sanctioned. Well, that's where it should have ended. Instead, he put all this other crap in it. Elfie, thanks for the 2. BBB, the musical fund. Awesome. It's going to be so good. Peggy, thanks for the 20. I feel I should be gifting you so much more for all the hours upon hours of great entertainment and laughter you both give to me. That's awfully sweet, but we enjoy doing it. And there was a long time where I did it for free before this channel was even monetized. So I enjoy it. Sticky Widget, thanks for the 5. I've got the bailout. Stay frosty, chat. Hit the like and subscribe. If you don't, Rogue Mama will exert her full wrath upon you. She will. It's true. Avoid it if you can. Andre, your favorite French Canadian, thanks for the Canadian too. The judge will ask the security escort receipt. I hope he does. But I don't even think he's going to comment on any of that crap because he didn't want to hear about that. Monica Kellett, thanks for the 2, just to be helpful. Good luck, Megan. Thank you so much. Chief Vince, thanks for the 2. I'd still buy the mineral rights under her shed. Oh, no. Ratsass67, thanks for the 5. Later, BBB says that JH is doing XYZ to exploit for YouTube views. He uses the word retaliatory. Mistake? No. Freudian? Freudian. JH indeed had to retaliate. Night Owl, thanks for the 2. She emailed the mayor in Ohio. That's right, she did. James, thanks for the 2. He found it in a Cracker Jack box, somehow received. Little B, thanks for the 20. I appreciate you. Teresa, Minnesota, thanks for the 50. Please add this to your legal fees, Megan. My husband is his local teachers union president here in Wisconsin. There are some students who are allowed to stab teachers and aides without punishment. Staff are told by administration to figure it out. Our whole system is so screwed, you guys. I can't even tell you. And I really appreciate this, Teresa. And I am going to call and make that appointment tomorrow. And I appreciate that all of you have made that very possible. Oh, because I need the help to navigate this problem. ADHD 2, Dukes, thanks for the 5. Tug, where's your Southern bless your heart sound button? I don't think he has a soundboard. All this time, and he doesn't have a soundboard. It's funny. Tracy Wilden, thanks for the 50 pounds to help with lawyers. I appreciate that. This is not something I wanted to have to do either. I mean, nobody wants to call a lawyer to deal with, the school. Because after I do that, they're going to hate me forever. But it is what it is. Donna Fisher, thanks for the 20 for Ferry against the school board. Oh, I hate these fights. I really do. Jesse, thanks for the 5. April 3rd, judge fuming about frivolous motions. BBB with Billy May's voice. But wait, there's more. Like the ShamWow. We should call him the ShamWow lawyer. It's exactly what these motions are like a ShamWow infomercial. Cunning Linguist, thanks for the 2. BBB and wife scrubbed their Facebooks. I saw that Bruce did that. I don't look at his wife's Facebook page, so I wouldn't know. I'm totally uninterested in her. I don't care. But if she did, that's pretty interesting. Debbie Britt, thanks for the 5. I have my favorites. Tammy's Cuz, thanks for the 99-cent super sticker. Appreciate you. Mama, thank you so much for the 5. Sherilyn Tate with a little tortoise emoji became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den. It's weird here. You'll get used to it. Skipper of Veteran Nation, thanks for the 2. He told his strategy, dismissal. Yeah, and the judge already told him that's not going to happen. And why is that not going to happen? Because the signs, which he has to take as true, right? He has to take the evidence presented as true. He's already made a ruling that it is, if true, it's defamation per se, which means you do not have to prove you were damaged. You were damaged. That's the worst. And the judge wrote that. It's the worst kind of defamation there is. So it's not going to be dismissed. And the judge has already said that. Becky Fear Rec, member for 2 months. You need a button for YouTube content. This is crazy. Yeah, well, I'm just using this one.
Say Rule 26 one more time, motherfucker.
Maybe I should make one that says, say YouTube content one more time. That would be funny. How many times is he going to say it before someone slaps him down for it? I know. I have my favorites. Tammy's Cuz, thanks for the 5. The schools protect bullies more than victims. Yep. That has been my experience. Fight the good fight, Mama Fox. It's not a fight I wanted to fight, and it feels like a losing battle, and I need somebody on my side to help me get somewhere. Teresa Finn, writer chick, member for 9 months. 9 months? Shouldn't the triplets be born by now? Yes. But the pregnancy is ongoing, Teresa. Love you, Megan. You too, Tug. Thanks for making me laugh, even when I don't feel like it. Aw, we appreciate you. Becky Jones, thanks for the 5. This is so frustrating. I sure hope the judge responds soon. Why is he trying the case in this document? Just so stupid. Yeah, because he didn't listen. Ellie Fant, thanks for the 5. Mods are waiting on paychecks. Trolls are saying you're loaded. Nobody's loaded in this day and age. Have you seen the market? Have you been to the grocery store? Nobody's loaded. I can't believe how much money it costs to keep a household running. Honest to God. And somehow, even though, we're blessed and we're doing okay, somehow there's still less and less money every month, left, because everything keeps going up. And I'm sure you're all experiencing the same thing. I'm sure you are. SF, thanks for the 2. Can't teach when you're in Armenia. Maybe. Okay, so if we're going to go tinfoil hat conspiracy.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
If you want to go full conspiracy, maybe she quit that job. And by the way, Bruce also took the $4,000 out of that account that he raised money in allegedly for the deposition. He withdrew the $4,000. She quits her job. Are they on a plane? I mean, that could explain it. Jada, thanks for the 5. The judge asked about why BBB didn't show and shouldn't be sanctioned. He did not request a Cliff Notes version of this nonsense. And it wasn't even a Cliff Notes version, Jada. It was like the full thing. Flippin' Adventures, thanks for the 10. Prediction, his wife's employer will deny any calls and then be accused of being on JH's payroll. Yeah, probably. Lord have mercy, he's so dumb. And a lawyer. There are phone records these days, Deuce. Yeah, and I'm not even sure what the allegation is that Jeremy allegedly did. And he didn't provide any receipts. To me, it looked like somebody just checked on the place's schedule to see if she's still teaching yoga with a torn rotator cuff. He's the one that put her in the filing and said that's why he couldn't come, because her shoulder was injured. Shifter Brains, thanks for the 2. Would latest filing be considered ex parte? No, because it went to all the parties and the judge. Janice Wingfield, thanks for the 20 for Fairy's expenses. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm also going to get hit with some massive medical bills with the 6-day hospital stay. I'm not looking forward to that. That's going to suck. Nancy Wheaton, thanks for the 5. SF, thanks for the 200 super chats. And Megan will do more Lori Daybell. Stop that. I didn't say that. You did. I will not. Well, I might do tomorrow. I might go back to see today's that sounded funny tomorrow. Skiffer Trucking, thanks for the 5. Keep going, or your punishment is the CPR trial tomorrow. I will never give the chat the power to hurt me like that again, ever. I will never test you like that because you guys have proven that you're malicious. Just kidding. Just J Hip, thanks for the 10. Thank you, Megan, for the wrench and for your support of my channel. I'm glad I can provide you and so many others with laughter. So much gratitude. Girls want their checks, by the way. I know, I keep hearing that. But it's weird because I didn't hire you or them, so I don't owe you any checks. I know that there's a rumor going around that says that I did. But I would never do that because I'm very, it's a tough economy and I'm being frugal. So I don't have the budget to hire people to do things for me. Frankie 3131, thanks for the 10. You have the best mods. I know. And the best chat. The mods are great. Thank you, mods. Oh, love you. Dix Ray, thanks for the 2. Medical condition prevent from attending schools 504. Yep, we already have. We're working on all of it, but like they're being crappy. They're signaling that they're going to fight it. Shifter Brains, thanks for the 2, was making a joke. All right, everybody. That's it. We have reached the end of the super chats. I'm going to redirect you over to Shizzy Wiznut. I don't know if he's still live. I know we've gone way over. I hope he's still live. And so let me see. Let me check. He is. All right, guys. Head on over. I'm not going to play you a song on the way out. I am just going to send you straight over there. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much for your generosity and your time. Love you guys. See you later.